Professor Jalbatross's computer is not being very professory.
I don't know what it is. It doesn't play nice with Chrome. Doesn't play nice with the opening video, so I just have to refresh. Otherwise, it's just a black screen.
Really? That's weird.
So weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not your Commodore 64, right? You've edged that up a bit.
Excuse you.
Hey, look, you can hear that keyboard a
I am
mile
lucky.
away. Clack, 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 clack.
You know it's one of those Commodore 64 keyboards with the wooden base because it's hollowed out. That was like my first kit bash. That was my first kit bash.
It's a Logitech G910 Orion, MX Brown keyboard. It's nice and clicky.
Manufactured in 2022. I believe the plastic is of plastic from the north, and the diodes of the keys are. That's me. When I used to buy my hardware, I had to know where everything came from, or everything was manufactured when I was putting my original gaming rigs together. But then after a while, I just got so burnt out on building rigs. I was like, you know what? You're pretty much off the shelf now when you go to a website. You just literally, like, it's even worse now. You just use AI to build it. You tell AI what you use your computer for, and then it just assembles it for you in a digital box. And then you try and pick and choose the quality of the parts to either raise or lower the price. It's pretty crazy. Eventually, I mean, my CLX that I have now is going on its, I think it's going on its 5th year right now. And I haven't done anything to it at all in 5 years. And it still runs everything pretty well. But I think at some point I've got to reinvest in another computer, and that terrifies me.
Logicalincrements.com. You can go there, just pick your price range, and then it tells you where to get all the shit. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm terrified. Oh,
I like my old PC case, like that's sticking around forever. But the guts of it are mid-grade last gen, but they work. They do what I need.
It's funny. My former brother-in-law, he turned all of his old iMacs into fish tanks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that sounds cool as shit.
Yeah, he turned them all into fish tanks. So, like, throughout his house, he's got, like all 5 colors of the iMac, the blue, the green, the yellow, the red, and I think the black or white or whatever the black basic was. And they're all still perfect intact, except the monitor was removed, and he put fish tanks, inside of them, all with LED lights to kind of keep them lit with their color profiles. So
yeah,
I was like, that's a pretty cool homage to when computer wars were still a thing. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That just one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And this is kind of before retro tech got like real big, because this would have pissed off so many people if it was this decade. But this was mid 2000s, and it might be the same thing you're talking about. You're talking about like the translucent all-in-one iMacs that all the schools had. Somebody hollowed it out and turned it into a cat bed. It's like,
so
okay.
Where we last left off, the team had a busy session. It would seem that Thorn is expected to keep an eye on and possibly take care of Bragsworth, the painter whose painting was at the eye of the storm at the Greymakers auction, allowing a gateway to temporarily open, and a very ill and possibly injured or dying Shimmerling had crawled through the gateway, forcing the team to have to deal with the particular problem. We also had some time with Karina and not Fabian. Who the hell is Fabian? But Karina and Eritrea each had their unique encounters with contexts as it related to religious reality, as well as Professor Drabaltros has had an interesting interlude with the God Eagle. Not quite what he expected, but it did occur. Probably the most interesting thing that occurred is Melody was able to go to the windowed veil or the windowed wall and enjoy an evening meal with Elith. And here it would seem that Elith had finally come to terms that she's just not very good at being a acting inquisitor for the for Vasselheim and their expectation of her within Jrusar, and decided to go out that evening after dinner and drink and have a good time and relax, as Melody, ever the party girl, was beginning to kind of bring Elith into the idea of the loosening up and maybe finding your energy in a positive way. With everybody else spread throughout the city doing their own things, it was only by sheer circumstance that Evil, the crow pet of Karina, had seen something strange. Reporting that to Karina and therefore reporting it to the others, it would appear that somebody had kidnapped both Elith and Melody and ended up on the Iron Eye ship that is
Ironbound?
the Ironbound, thank you, sorry. The Ironbound ship with the intent of seeming to be mercenaries whose sole job it would be to track down Fae, capture them, and to take them to their supposed buyers. With Melody trapped in the bowels of the Ironbound, surrounded by dwarves, the team tracked it to the stanchions of the Airy Spire. Once here in the Airy Spire, they are now sitting on an overwatch position, looking down at the Ironbound as it's in the process of getting underway. It's still anchored, or it's still attached to the Airy Spire. It's in the process of the crew readying itself to be on its way. It's late at night. The four of you are perched up looking down into the ship itself. The dwarven guards, Melody has already had a slight interaction with what might be one of the leaders of the Ironbound down below in the holding cells of the Ironbound vessel. With that, what would you guys like to do?
So what Foreign was thinking was when we fly by, I was going to Misty Step in to the ship through, like, because all I need is eyesight through the ship, and I can Misty Step into a place.
And I believe we still have the sending stones, so once you need us to create a distraction for everyone to be able to get out, just let us know and we will cause some mayhem.
And you're the Foreign, you're the distraction. I believe Jalbatross and I are together, and we're trying to sneak in on the other side, correct?
I believe...
I feel like... I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, I feel like Four might have better luck sneaking in than I do. I'm a big clanky poly guy, and I'm literally a birdman. I can just crash onto the deck and just be like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I believe your things. I just want to maybe throw that out there."
I believe.
Go ahead, Karina.
I'm sorry. No. What were we saying?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was very proud of the team names, so I will repeat them for posterity. I believe Foreign was Team Extraction and we were Team Distraction.
Yes.
And I have Crown of Madness right now, so I'm very excited to use that on someone finally.
You're wearing Crown of Madness?
It's a weird thing where if I succeed, they will start attacking their own group, and I've been meaning to use it for the past 2 years and I've never had an excuse.
I've waited 2 whole years for this.
So, Foreign, how are you flying again?
We were flying up in the skiff at first, right?
That's right. So the skiff...
Or we were... I was on Brightwing. Sorry, we were headed up to the boat docked aside.
Correct.
The boat
I think you were thinking of our one shot.
Yep. But it was the skiff that was docked beside, or the boat that was docked beside the Ironbound, that we were, the decrepit thing that they were going to get on, and I was going to, as we flew around a porthole, Misty Step into the hold as soon as I could see a hole.
Okay. Give me a stealth check as you immediately take off and begin looking for an access point to take advantage of.
Yep. I get advantage on that, so that's always fun. Hey. Glad I got advantage on that, because that's 19.
Nice. You guys watch as Thorn flies over the alternate vessel that is stanchioned across the walkway. He uses it as cover, and you eventually lose track of him. As far as you know, he's now in a process of trying to find a visual reference of the vessel so he can make his way in. Leaving the three of you still up on the perch of the tall building, looking down. Is your plan to wait for Thorn to start something, or because he's distraction? You guys are team extraction, right?
No, I'm extraction.
You're extraction. They're distraction.
They're distraction.
So once you find Melody, you're going to notify them so that they can make a distraction, and then that'll allow you to get Melody out. Gotcha.
Yep.
I can't remember. Do you have one of the sending stones on you, or do you want us?
I do. I mean, you've got one of the charms at least.
Oh, yes.
You guys have charms, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe I did give you the sending stone
Yeah,
because
so
I
we
did
can
have
talk
both
to
of
each
them,
other.
so I might as well.
Yeah, so you could talk directly to him. I also can cast the sending a few times, if need be, for additional communication.
Nice. And do we want to like stand in different sides of the boat so we can have? Is any of us like strategic when it comes to fighting, or does somebody want to hatch a
Are
plan,
you
gang?
planning to use strategery?
Strategery.
Strategery, yes.
Well, I mean,
Suddenly we're invading Iraq. I don't know what happened. Like we just
Okay, so we need to go over the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns. And why is Donald Rumsfeld here?
I was like, oh, finally, okay, the professor has a plan.
So the three of you are perched up on like this massive building structure that's looking down into the iron-bound vessel that's stanchioned at the Airy Spire. Thorn went to the opposite side of it to see if he could find a way in between the other vessel and the one that you're watching to get in. Since the three of you are perched up and kind of watching down below, Karina, Eritrea, and Professor Javeltros, give me perception checks for starters.
Is Brightquill with us?
Yes,
I'm on
Brightquill.
Brightquill.
Yeah, Brightquill is with Thorn.
Okay.
That's
Just
how
to,
he's getting.
just to drop me off though. Like,
Yes.
Brightquill's just fly by.
And I would
so
say
can-
within like 5 minutes of losing track of Thorn, you find that Brightquill quietly lands behind you guys up on the tall heights of the building. That at least tells you that Thorn has been successfully dropped off somewhere in order to get into the ship.
You said perception
12.
check, correct?
Yep, perception.
7.
12.
Professor Jalbatros, perception. You're on mute, by the way.
Sorry, hubby's kind of loud in the other room. I missed a lot of that.
No worries.
Not great. I'm going to say that's probably a unnatural 1, but let me double check.
Guys,
Our
my
most receptive people.
life is
Yes.
on the line here.
Yeah.
What's up?
You really should have not trusted us with your life.
Oh,
It's an unnatural 1. It's a 2 minus 1.
yeah, it's an unnatural 1. That's epic.
Alexa, I just changed my dice after that first one.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
She asked me if I was using good dice. I'm like, I got to give these ones another chance. So,
That's how becoming a dice goblin gets so expensive.
yeah.
Because your dice love you for a few months, and then they suddenly despise you, and you're like,
Mhm.
"Get out of here! I'm buying new dice." And the next
These
thing
rolled
you
great for me
know,
last night.
That's what
the
Big
next thing
Dice
you
doesn't
know-
want you to know.
Thorn, you were on the back of Brightquill. There was a small gangway door, like those square door flaps that kind of cover where cannons would stick out.
Mhm.
A little cannonade cover. It was partially open. That allowed you to see at least into the upper deck, or the mid deck just below the upper deck.
Yep.
And then you immediately use that as a way to bamf your way into the interior of the ship. Then you watched as Brightquill continued his flight The vessel's quite large in the sense that it is a vessel that is designed with purpose. As you are on the amidships portion of the deck, you're in what would be the kind of like the commons area of everything. And hanging right and left are all of these hammocks. You know, you could tell that these are where the sailors reside. You count 12 hammocks. So you get the feeling that the crew of this vessel has at least 12 people on it. You can hear noise from down below, and you can hear noise from up above. You're in a quiet section of the midships. There are stairs 40 feet in front of you and stairs 50 feet behind you. Stairs that lead up and down, lead up and down. You get the feeling that they both lead up to the main deck and they both lead down into whatever's in the lower deck below where you're currently on. No one has noticed you yet. There's no one on this deck at the moment. You get the feeling that everyone is up on the main deck preparing for the ship to leave.
Okay, I'm going to go towards aft of the ship, whichever direction I feel is after the ship. Assuming that the farther you get in the boat, the farther down and aft that you get. So
okay, give me a stealth check if you would, please.
Yep. That's I think it's a 22. I think I have +7.
Math is hard.
Yep,
Math
22.
is hard.
I just got to remember what my modifier is.
Yeah. You head towards after the vessel, and you start to kind of look and silently go down those rear stairs. You take them down, and there's a bit of a cubby behind the stairs on the next level below. The next level below is a very shallow section of hull that seems to be a combination of equipment storage and other items that may be there in the midst of transporting. You can now hear Dwarven speech on the next deck below the one that you're currently on. And you can now hear the dripping of moisture. There's a bit of seepage at this level on the ship as the humidity of the outside air that's been colliding against the vessel tells you that there's a humidity difference. There's a temperate difference between the level that you're on and the level below you. You're not entirely sure why that would be, but it's noticeable. But there are stairs to continue down deeper into what you suspect is the main hull.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of, if I can I pause for a second, take a better look around, like what I see on that deck?
Give me a perception check as you kind of look out from behind the stairs and look down the long walkway of the current lower deck that you're on.
All right, that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Here, you see signs of contraptions like cages and traps and ropes. You could see also stacks of small barrels of powder and gunshot. You could see carefully curated and secured stacks of cannonballs and small cannonade rounds that would be launched from like a hand cannon as opposed to the traditional large shipyard cannon that you'd expect on an airship. It's at that moment you hear the heavy steps of a dwarf come up the stairs from down below, speaking to another dwarf who's following them. And they're speaking Dwarvish to each other at this point. They haven't noticed you. They walk unceremoniously out of the rear stairs, the rear exit. And you notice that they stop about 20 feet, 30 feet down the walkway and are in a pretty heavy, intense, animated discussion about something. The one dwarf, who clearly looks like maybe they're the captain, he's much bigger than the dwarf that he's talking to, and is wearing the vestiges and attire of someone that looks to be a leader of sorts. Heavily tattooed, wearing heavy kind of like blackened iron armor, a huge warhammer strung out on his back, with the handle kind of draping little like little trophies hanging off the handle. It's when you see the trophies on the handle, the blood, in your stomach begins to curl a little bit as you recognize Fey-like trophies, particularly Fey wings, pixie trophies, centaur trophies. Like, you get the feeling that for whatever reason, this dwarf specializes in the hunting the Fey. And while he finishes his conversation with the one dwarf, he then stalks off to go up towards the main deck. The other dwarf that he leaves behind seems to be lost in thought. They are, as dwarves go, they appear to be much younger in appearance. Not as big, a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner than the captain of the vessel was. They just kind of stare at their feet, mutter something to themselves, and then walk right past you as you're in the shadows, and then goes up the aft section of the stairs.
I'm going to go down the stairs where they came out.
Okay. Give me a fresh stealth check for that, if you would.
Sure. I'll take that. That's a 26 that time.
Nice. As you come down the aft stairs, you can smell the sweat and damp of a level of the ship that has no easy access to air. You can see about 8 large iron cages strung along one side of the vessel. No one even notices you're here. You could see 2 guards back at the very rear, the rearmost part of the vessel. Like when you come down the stairs, you look to your right, and 30 feet to your right is a captain's door where 2 dwarves are sitting on chairs and gambling, rolling dice on a crate. You look up the left to see the 8 cages that string up this part of the crew, the hull's deck. And this is the main storage deck, but you get the feeling that the deck above you could easily be false. Like it could be set up to make people believe that there's nothing below it. So you get the feeling that this part of the ship is the part of the ship that they do most of their smuggling in. In the first cage, you can see a very kind of glum looking centaur, shackled, held against their will within the cage. You use the shadows, you can see a group of medium-sized pixie-like creatures in another cage. In the next cage, you can see a fawn in that cage. The obvious fey nature of the fawn. And by the time you get to the 5th cage, you look down, the other 3 cages look to have people in it. But when you get to the 5th cage, quietly in the shadows, you can see Melody inside the cage. But she does not see you.
Okay. I'm going to pass by Melody's cage and check the other ones real quick first.
Okay.
And then I'll come back and whisper in Sylvan.
As you keep going, the very next cage next to Melody, you see the shackled form of Elith. She's there as well. And you recognize her from conversations and discussions that Melody had been having with her.
Well, and I ran from her before, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to the next one, and it's another centaur. It's the last one that baffles you. Give me a history check as you examine the last kind of normal-looking person. She's female, kind of older-looking.
It's not going to be great. That's a 7.
7?
Yeah.
You want to say she looks familiar, but you're not entirely sure. But she's human-looking. She doesn't look fey. There's nothing about her that strikes you that she's fey. But for whatever reason, she's caged down here as well with all the others. While all the others seem to be here because they're fey, this one baffles you. You're not quite sure why she's here.
Okay. I'll sneak back over to Melody's cage and whisper, I'm here to get you out. We'll figure out how to get out of here after that. The back stairs here seem the way out, but don't make any noise. I'm going to let the others know.
I'm gonna just silently point up at whatever that thing was that seemed to like stop my magic before.
Yeah. You watch as Melody quietly points up. You see a small golden orb with a bit of arcane light pulsing off of it at the top of the inside of her cage. And it seems to be affecting anyone inside the cage because as you place your hand through the bars, you feel your magic detach from you. Like you literally feel as if a anti-magic field is kind of keeping the cage safely contained. That tells you that tells you a good thing. The cage is not magically warded because it wouldn't work.
Can I? So I want to look around. Are these cages like? Do they all have individual locks on them, or are they like step in there? So they're not like a pull a switch and pop the cage kind of thing. But each one has a lock.
And they're individual cages with individuals inside of each one.
Right.
And as you stare at the lock on what looks to be the door, the lock actually the metal plating has 3 locks in it. It looks like some kind of combination of locks.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna message the other team, or like I'll try and activate the sending stone. Found Melody, false bottom of a ship, 2 guards here, big guy headed to the top.
And as if to confirm that, as you guys get that message from Foreign, you watch as this very hulking size of a dwarf kind of comes up out of the front stairs of the ship, and he is already bellowing out in dwarven language to get. It seems like he's making everybody hurry up.
I said again, like that. Is that a signal you need? We need something else. But go, fire, attack.
Oh. We're gonna take the phone. Oh crap! It was on silence. If it's okay, I'd like to start by seeing if I can notice somebody on the ship that looks particularly physically strong and like they might have a low wisdom threshold. And I'd be able to confirm whether or not they have a low wisdom threshold through True Strike.
Which means you'd have to hit him.
I have the older one, the one that's like I just point at him.
What's the range?
That one, it's 30 feet. How far are we?
You guys are a good 1,000 feet kind of away and up on a tall building, keeping an eye on the walkway that leads up to the Ironbound.
Okay.
And on that walkway, like right at the entry point of the Ironbound to get on the deck of the ship, you could see 2 dwarves in heavy armor that seem to be, standing guard there to make sure that no one can get on the ship unless they're supposed to. You can see the one big dwarf that Foreign had described, and at least 5 other dwarves that are probably crew folk of the ship, but they are also wearing chainmail armor. Their weapons are stowed and their shields are stowed on their back, but they're clearly crew as they're preparing the ship for disembarking.
Do I feel like I can get within 120 feet of them?
I mean, you could certainly try. I'll probably need a stealth check.
Okay, just to be
There's
safe.
places for you to hide and make your way down there, but you will possibly expose yourself in the process.
Just to be safe, I'll try to turn into a dwarf that looks like he might belong there and might have just like stepped out for a second.
Okay.
And try to just be within 120 feet range. Would I need
So
to?
you're not being stealthy, you're being a little bit obvious then, right?
Yeah,
Or
just
casual.
Or actually, I have the Ring of Twilight thing that would make me have advantage roll on stealth. So I'll still be a dwarf, but I'll try to go unnoticed if I can.
Yeah, give me a stealth check with advantage because you have the Ring of Twilight.
Ooh, first one is 20,
Ooh.
Nice.
and second one is 16, so 20.
So we'll go with the 16. Perfect.
No. Wait.
No! What's your total stealth?
So it's 20.
Oh, you don't have bonus. Gotcha. So it's
Oh, it was 18 plus 2, so 20.
Gotcha. As you make your way down the outer platform and stairs to get into the walkway that connects to the Airy Spire dock that leads out towards the Ironbound, there's crates and barrels and equipment kind of organized around. And you kind of move from place to place to place. And when you get right within 120 feet of the range where you can see the two guards and all the active dwarves on the ship, you kind of turn into one, like you kind of make your, what's the one you like to use? Sauron or
Sauron.
Sauron.
I guess my dwarf
maybe
persona is Grimly, which is emo version of Glimly.
Yeah, you go. Go with
Grimly.
Yeah,
Grimly.
I like
That's
that one.
good. That's good.
You morph into Grimly's form, and you're just being very casual but purposely stealthful, like the shadows of the storage area that's around you, giving you a little bit of cover, but enough of a way to see everything that's happening on the main deck of the ship.
Is there somebody who just like on a base instinct feels like they are big, strong, and maybe not very wise?
I mean, give me an insight check on the two guards.
22.
Dwarves are tricky. Dwarves can be very wise. Sometimes not too intelligent, as sometimes their emotion and their wisdom and their cultural kind of connection with being a dwarf is more important than sometimes the obvious nature of a threat or concern of violence. But there's something about these dwarves that make you feel like these are practiced, hardened mercenaries who maybe served in a war in the past, and now they've found service with whoever this dwarf captain is. You get the feeling that they're probably loyal to coin, but they're wise enough to know when an opportunity might go bad versus an opportunity that's going to pay off well. They look like seasoned vets. They look like they know what they're doing.
Does one of them look a little dumber than the other?
Hard to tell.
Darn. Okay. I'll just go with the one that's like a little closer to me to be on the safe side.
Okay.
And I'll try and cast Crown of Madness, and I'll be really mad if it doesn't go as I've been hoping
So
for.
as you're
the past
preparing
years.
that for the beginning part of the distraction, Arrow Trio and Professor Jabaltros, you watch this Karina headed down in her normal changeling form, or the form that she was currently in, and you lose her to the kind of like the shadows and darkness of the dock space of the Airy Spire down below. What are you two doing as part of this effort?
I wonder, Andrew, let me ask you this. I had an idea to both get on the ship and cause a further distraction. I can just dive down on there like I've been pushed out of, well, like say I fall out of a building, my wing is injured, and maybe knock some of the crew off in my flailing attempts when I hit the deck.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Do you want me to be an additional? The only thing that, because I'm just so focused on my healing, that I could maybe cast light as some sort in the distance to distract the dwarves as I'm flying above the ship, and I'm sure people do not see Asmars very often.
Oh, that sounds like this sounds like a wonderful idea. Just normal things, just an albatross Aarakocra just falling out of the sky, as we do. We're very clumsy birds in the sky, as everyone knows. And in Asmar, just tailing along, just I'm sorry, I would never date to try to
Should we act like we are fighting each other? My cast of light knocks you into the ship.
I like that idea. I see nothing that could possibly go wrong with this.
Does Jalbatras have that sarcasm in his actual tone?
You just crash into each other. You're clumsy bird boys. You crash into each other over the
Yes,
ship.
exactly.
All the time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Makes total sense to me, I think.
Everyone knows,
That's where you're going, sir.
The two of you are going to mimic as if you run into each other and then land on the main deck of the ship,
yeah,
kind of
crash
arguing
into the
with
deck.
each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Let me get the two of you pre-positioned for that, because that
Oh no.
Ooh.
sounds adorable.
Should
What
we
do you mean
fight it in that-
pre-position? Is there going to be a fight? I didn't know there was going to be a fight. We don't need to fight.
Should it be like a fake fight that turns into a fake romantic encounter?
Oh.
Eritrea keeps ending up in those situations.
Eritrea just has chemistry with everyone.
Right? He does. I
I'm
believe
flashing,
it.
but,
Fabian appears out of nowhere.
I can imagine Jalbatras would be game for that. There's no-
Because you're expecting
I'm
it,
not supposed to
Karina,
wait for life. I'm
you
not
watch and you see Professor Jalbatras and Eritrea mimic as if they collide into each other and land on the deck of the ship. So, Eritrea and Professor Jalbatras, give me deception, if you would, please, each of you.
14.
Oh, that's
14.
pretty good.
Just a new dice. Yeah, I have
All
a plus
right,
0 to
okay.
it. I have a plus
All
0
right.
deception, so.
16. 1-6.
16. As Karina, as you watch them drop, you see the two dwarfs turn to see what the disturbance is, and you notice some of the other dwarfs begin to kind of look towards where the disturbance is. And that's when you cast Crown of Madness on the dwarf to the right or the left.
Just in a kind of is there any sense at all if like one of them is maybe just like a little bit more ditzy, just like
Even worse, they're dressed exactly the same.
oh god. Okay. I'm just gonna any mini miny mow it.
What's the save? Wisdom?
15.
15. You feel the spell land. Now, question I have for you: is this a charm effect?
Oh god. It's concentration. Wisdom 15 component VS, even out of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration.
Okay, so dwarves have advantage on the charmed effect.
No.
So I only rolled one dice, and it was a fail. It was a 9 plus 3 was a 12. So I'm gonna roll again.
All right.
That is a 3 plus 3, which is a 6.
Yes!
So you feel your spell stick on the one. You feel it stick on the one to your left, and you can see little kind of arcane orbs coalescing around its head as you get the feeling it's in the midst of the charmed effect, and you're currently concentrating on that.
Perfect. I'm gonna get him to start attacking the person next to him.
Eritrea and Professor Drabatras, as you two land, and you start mimicking as if you're fighting, like, the whole, oh, good me, sir, oh, sorry, pip, pip, cheerio, all that, kind of unfolding around you. A couple of the dwarves begin to approach you, but then they turn and look to see one of the dwarves over on the gangway entrance of the ship pulls out his warhammer and just beats the shit out of the other dwarf. Just brings it up, slams it down into the other dwarf, which completely catches the other dwarves off guard. At which point, Thorn, down below, you can hear a ruckus upstairs. You get the feeling the distraction has started.
Okay, I'm going to as soon as that starts. Yeah, I'm going to. I want to cast. I want to use my use of hex because it's not cast, but I want to cast ambush prey, which will make me invisible and it'll add to my attack.
Okay.
and I'm going to have my rifle out and just blast one of the dwarves playing rolling dice.
Okay. That's interesting because now we have what's kicked off upstairs. You're going to have a surprise action at this point. So you get what, 2 attacks?
Yeah, 2 attacks.
Okay. So take both shots at the one dwarf or one of each.
If I use I'm taking off the hex on one dwarf.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, sorry, I did that just to mark that I was using it. Then where's the other one? Ambush prey. Yeah, ambush prey just makes me invisible to take the shot. I was already hiding.
Done with the shot, right?
Yeah, it drops like regular invisibility does, but it gives me a bonus on my attack.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so will I get advantage being invisible or?
Oh, absolutely. It's a
Okay.
surprise round, so you have advantage.
Yep. Okay. That's a 16 plus. Let me get my number plus 9, so 25 to hit.
25 definitely hits with an extra D4 of damage. The shot
Okay.
rings out very loud and like just fills the darkened whole space with a flash of the gun. Those of you upstairs hear it as well. Go ahead and take your second shot. It's going to be like one right after the other.
Okay. Second one also advantage or?
I'm saying it's a surprise action. So yeah, you have advantage on this one too.
Okay. That one is a 23 to hit.
That will hit as well, but not for a D4 of damage. Go ahead and roll up all your damage, and we'll see if he's still on his feet.
Okay. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Hang on, let me roll the second attack. Second attack is D12. That's 9. Hang on. 3 for 7, 8, 9. So that's 18 plus 8 total because it's 2 shots, so plus 4 twice. So that's 26.
26 piercing damage total.
Nice.
What is there any weapon mastery effect for you?
It has the explosive effect. Upon a hit, everything within 5 feet must make a dex saving throw equal to 8 plus my proficiency bonus, or suffer 1d8 fire damage.
Yeah. That means the guy sitting next to him, gambling with him, is going to be under the explosive effect. That's probably going to be a fail. That's an 8 plus 2 is a 10 for the dex save.
Proficiency bonus. Yep, it fails by 1, so that's it had to be 11. So 2
Go ahead and
d8.
roll the d8 as the fire the rounds go off. The fire shrapnels over into the other
That's
guy.
9 explosive fire damage.
Nice. All of you up above here, the gunshots. There is a sudden awareness that something is wrong as the 2 dwarves are fighting at the gangway. The other dwarves, realizing that something's up, immediately pull out their weapons, begin charging towards Eritrea and Professor Jalbatros. Forn, the one guy goes down unconscious onto the floor. The other guy is kind of blasted prone away from the shot. Just then, the door that they were in front of surges open as another 2 dwarves come piling out of the room that they were sitting in front of. I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Son of a gun. Let's do it.
Yay!
Switch over to the right background.
Of course.
Oh no! I rolled
Okay.
a 1.
Whoa!
It's the curse of being below decks because I did the same thing.
No
Oh,
way.
no.
But I have a
brutal.
+5 or +4 to my roll, but yeah.
I got plus nothing.
All right. For some reason, I had a brain fade. Give me 1 second.
Ooh. Looks like a Lego set.
That's
Right?
great. I
Kinda-
love
The
that.
best-
That looks
the best.
All right,
That
let's
was
get it.
great.
Oh my God, these initiative rolls are terrible.
It's not good.
Um,
It's just Yeah, Eric and Tally holding down the fort.
No kidding. And we know what we say when you're relying on Karina to hold down the fort. Things are about
Karina's
to
not even
go-
in the fort. She has no intention of being
Right?
on the fort.
When Karina's holding down the fort, the answer is bye.
So these two dwarves are currently fighting. Uh-oh. I wonder if I need to put in new batteries in my keyboard. Karina, you're here in the shadows. And you're currently concentrating.
Maybe the dwarves have no initiative. Like they're just like very complacent and enjoy their crew. Want to be doing this.
One
Or maybe
can
they
hope,
have
right?
they just have teeny tiny daggers that do like 4 points of damage. That's probably what's going on.
They're hyper reactive to their environment, right?
Yeah.
They're not very
So
proactive
that-
fellows. They're
Here, Professor Jabatras and Air Trio are on the. Oops, sorry about that. Are on the main deck of the ship here in the middle. As the dwarves turn to start approaching you, you can see three, one up here and three down on the main deck with you. You've lost track of where the big dwarf went. He went somewhere, but in the midst of your distraction, you're not sure where he went. Let's see, Professor Jabatras. You are up with the bad guys on deck.
Okay. Am I near a cannon, just a gun? I can't quite really see in there.
The only cannon you can see is up here on the main deck, near the front of the ship.
Okay. Are those chests on the back wall there? Is that ammunition?
It is powder
Okay, how far?
and shot.
All right, how far away am I?
You're about 30 feet away from that.
Okay, I would like to use my movement to kind of get on the gunnel, like right behind the excuse me, the powder and shot.
It's like right up here.
Yeah, right behind it, like up by the rigging
on the rail, I think.
Yeah, on the.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, and I'll say you do that by leaping up, flying at an angle, and then land on the railing, like right above where the shot and powder is.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a wild guess, and has the guy that's in the middle of the forecastle, the right there, kind of right in the middle of the screen, has he noticed me?
Oh yeah.
Because he's about to. So I'm gonna look at him and just do a. This is for intimidation effect, but I'm gonna try to do a thaumaturgy and just screech at him with booming voice. So I'm
Okay.
absolutely trying to intimidate him.
Give me an intimidation check. If it's
And
successful,
remember,
if it's successful, I will consider him frightened.
and I have, I'm within 30 feet of Jalbatros, right?
You are,
I,
yeah.
I kind of have that permanent aura of guidance
That's
that
right.
we
You do.
discussed several weeks ago. So you get an extra D4.
Yep.
Well, that's an ability check.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
okay.
a.
Nah,
Well, no,
not
this is
that.
ability. It's intimidation. So you're right.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fine. What's my intimidation? That's +4. That is an 18.
Nice.
I will say that he is now under the frightened condition
Nice.
as he staggers back away from you. All right. Frightened. So we'll say he's under the frightened condition as he kind of goes, "What the fuck is that? It's a raging mad albatross. Kill it!"
What I want to do is I want to take my Scorch Scale Maul and use its ability. Let me get back on the actions there. I can do a 1d6 fire damage once per long rest centered on the ground in front of me. And I just want to just slam it like right by the powder magazine and just kind of fly up into the rigging to avoid the blast.
Gotcha. With your passive insight, you can't help but notice there's a lot of powder and shot. Like enough to probably cause the whole front of the ship to explode.
We're in the back. It's okay.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure they're in the stern. I'm not that concerned about it. Also, my passive insight is 9.
Yeah, you know what? Best guess. Maybe everybody will be fine.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be okay.
No.
Yes, we've
Hey,
been through this before.
look. we are the explosive group. You know this, right? So,
True.
you know, this is the...
So as you bring down the mall, boom, the scorching ray effect goes off. A plume of fire begins to boil and ignite in between the wooded chests, the shot, and the powder casings that go into the cannon. It ignites the wood and the ropes in the immediate area, but does not set off everything immediately on fire.
Mhm.
You then go up into the rigging, correct?
Yep.
From
I'm
that
just,
point,
I'm
and that-
literally just. I said there's not really a destination there. I just want to get out of the way so I'm not caught in the immediate blast.
Gotcha. All right, we will place a flame marker there so we know that the fire has begun. Get a little bit more reminder. Ooh, too big.
Ooh.
Oh,
Small
okay.
fire. It's a
There
small
we go.
fire.
Medium fire.
And you are currently flying, and we're going to put you up in the rigging.
Yeah.
And that will finish Jabaltras's turn, taking us to the dwarves. These two here are duking it out. These ones down here, one is going to charge towards Eritrea. This one is going to come over here, start climbing the rigging to get up towards Albatross. This one's going to turn and get one of the water buckets and try to put out the fire, since he can't technically go towards Professor Jabaltross at this point. This one is going to move. Oh, you know what? I can fix that. Let's lower the ceiling effect so I don't have to worry about it. There we go. That'll be easier to see everything. This one's going to come down. He's going to have to use 3 AP to get into base with Eritrea. This one is going to climb the rigging, use all his AP to get up in the rigging to try to chase down Professor Jabaltross. Which I want to bring that bit of rigging back because that's where Professor Jabaltross is. All right. Eritrea, you have got 2 attacks coming at you from one of the dwarves. I've been doing that all day today with the dice dropping. Good Lord. That is a 7 and a 21.
One of those hits.
21 will hit you for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. He will then use his last AP at disadvantage to strike you twice. That's going to miss with a 7. Does a 15 hit or 14?
My AC is 15.
Okay, that one will miss as well. The dwarf opposite of you will now do the exact same thing. That is going to be a 19 and a 17.
Hit.
That is really bad damage roll. That is 5. That's 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And then he's going to do it again at disadvantage. The 4 plus 4 is an 8. As an 8 plus 4 is a 12. That will miss as well. I'll finish there. So now we'll go down below. Down below in the hold. I wasn't sure where you guys were going to pick the fight, so I got to hide those of you that aren't down here. There's Forn. All right. There's Forn taking the shot. This orc is down, which I'm going to take that one off the table. This one was blown kind of back and away, and then these two came running out of the room.
Yep.
The one coming towards you will get into base with you and make 2 attacks on you, Born.
Yep.
That is a 22 and a dirty 20.
Both hit. The 22 gets extra D4.
Okay. That is going to be 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
He's going to take his next 2 attacks on you at disadvantage. That is a natural 1 plus 4 is a 5. That is a 2 plus 4 is a 6, so that will miss. This one is going to... No, he's going to charge in as well. This one is going to run up the aft captain's quarters stairs to warn the main deck, so she will disappear in the background. 2 more attacks coming at you, Thorn.
Yep.
7 and a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
That is 4 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Final AP at disadvantage. That's going to be a 12. That'll miss. 14.
Nope. 14 doesn't hit.
That'll miss as well. That will finish all the dwarves' movement. Karina. Go back up.
Testing the
This
limits
is-
of Tailspire tonight.
I know, right?
The
So,
set is
Karina, from your
amazing.
vantage point, you can see that Eritrea is engaged with 2 of the dwarves. One of the dwarves is trying to put out a fire. The other dwarf climbed up into the rigging to chase after Professor Jalbatros, and these 2 are still duking it out. However, I believe the one that you did Crown of Madness on, he may get a chance at a wisdom save at the end of his turn. Let me see. The target repeats the save at the end of each of its turn. So it does have advantage on charm effects. That is going to be a 16 plus 2 is a 18. So he is no longer under the effects of the Crown of Madness. What would you like to do? You're up with Eritrea on deck.
I am going to do. I'm still within 120 feet, correct?
I put you a little bit closer.
Okay.
You're probably closer to 90, but let me see. You are 40 feet away.
Oh, perfect. So I'm gonna I'm going to cast Wrap Bolt.
Okay.
When you cast this spell, you gain 1 level of contamination. In Arcing Bolt of Octarine, lightning strikes the creature within range. If the target has 1 more contamination level, it is hit automatically. Otherwise, makes a ranged spell attack against the creature. On a hit, the target takes 6d6 necrotic damage and gains 1 level of contamination. When you cast a spell using a spell slot at a 3rd level or higher, you can target 1 additional creature. So I'm going to do it in the 3rd level. So I can do 2 creatures, and it's within 60 feet. So are there other characters, other people that I can see within the 60 feet range?
Well, I think you can only pick 1 additional one though. There's your target,
Yeah.
and then pick 1 additional. So
Yeah.
currently, the 2 stopped fighting. Like the one that just been hacked and mauled by the other dwarf, just suddenly shakes his head like something was wrong. The other dwarf is like very hesitant to believe what's going on. But yeah, go ahead and make your spell ranged attack.
Perfect. Are there, because one of them seems like he's already in a rough shape, I'm gonna see if I can get somebody who's in better shape than him to be attacked. Is there anybody else that I can see?
They're the 2 closest to each other. And what's your range on the spell?
60 feet.
And the 2 on Eritrea are out of your range.
Okay, so I'll put it on the 2 of them.
Okay. You have to make a ranged spell attack, correct?
Yes. Let me. Sorry, I'm just a little confused by the mechanics on it.
And what's the spell called?
Wrap Bolt.
Or Warp Bolt?
Yes.
I know my dyslexia wants me to call it wrap. Now that'll drop Crown of Madness, which you're going to drop anyways because he saved. So now you're
Yeah.
concentrating on this. When you cast a spell, you gain 1 level of contamination. So you now have 1 level of contamination for using the spell. An arcing bolt of lightning strikes a creature within range. If the target has 1 or more contamination levels, it is hit automatically. Otherwise, make a ranged spell attack against the creature. On a hit, the target takes 66 necrotic damage and gains 1 level of contamination. So, even though you gain 1 level of contamination, you still have to roll to see if you hit your target. If you hit your target, then he gains that level of contamination, which means if you focus on him on another attack, it automatically hits because he's got 1 point of contamination. And because you're casting at a higher level, when you cast a spell using a spell slot 3rd level or higher, you can target 1 additional creature. So they're both going to gain 1 point of contamination as long as you hit them. So this is a ranged spell attack.
It doesn't say what is the hit DC, and I'm not sure which dice I should roll for that.
It's your
You roll a
spell
dice
attack
plus your
modifier.
spell attack modifier. So if you look at
Yeah.
the spells tab at the top in the middle of when you click on spells, the top in the middle, it says modifier, spell attack, and save DC.
Okay, so my modifier is +4 and my spell attack is +7. Do I do +4 or
+7.
+7?
+7 because that's your spell attack modifier.
Suck it, dwarves. Oh, that's 3 + 7, so that's a 10.
Yeah, you watch as you go to arc the lightning at them, and it like strikes at their feet and the rope around them, unfortunately missing them.
Is it maybe 2 different attempts because it's 2 people?
Now, 3rd level, your target affects them both, or because it's a 3rd level, you're affecting them both. So that's 2 AP. You got 2 AP left.
Okay, well, this wasn't worth it. I'm gonna do
Oh no, it's
which
definitely
is-
worth it. You just rolled a 3.
oof.
It's a great
Yes.
spell.
Yeah.
It's also very complex, and it requires a ranged hit.
I mean, I do have my inspiration. Is there any chance that if I add my d6 to that, I could potentially hit them, or is it completely out of range?
They are wearing chainmail. They are in an armor class 16. So if you roll a 6 on your d6, you'll hit them.
I'll make bad choices. I'll do it. Might as well.
I'll make bad choices. That's okay. Ford decided to kick it off without getting Melody out of the cage first.
Well, I'm gonna steal the keys. I thought it would kill him. I thought it would kill him and take the keys, and that didn't work. I have no confidence that I could unlock that cell.
It's not surprising that you were supposed to be the sneaky one, but then started firing loud shots that initiated all of this.
Well, I still didn't hit them, but at least I tried. Okay, so I am going to turn into an Aarakocra
Okay.
and try to fly to the side of the ship. How many action points do I have left?
Turning into an Aarakocra is innate to your changeling ability, but it still costs you 1 AP to do that. And then it would be an AP of movement. So you have 2 AP left.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Witch's Bolt into the side of the...
Spells are 2 AP.
Oh, it's not a spell, it's a cantrip.
Oh, Witch's Bolt is
Witch
a...
bolt?
Sorry,
Witch Bolt?
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch
Oh, Eldritch
I
Blast.
mixed
Yeah,
up.
that's a
okay,
cantrip.
okay.
Yeah, I was like, Witch Bolt's a cantrip? That's epic.
Yeah, seriously.
Amazing cantrip.
You're set up then.
I should have stuck to that, actually. I could have lied away with it, too.
Yeah, just sneak it right past Jason.
So I'll do Eldritch Blast. My goal is to create an opening in the side of the ship and try and get in.
Okay, so you're turning into an Aarakocran, and then you're blasting at the side of the ship, correct?
Yes.
Okay, roll the hit. Go ahead and give me an Eldritch Blast. You're now in your Aarakocra form.
Ooh, I'm not rolling great today. That's 14.
14, that's easy enough to hit the ship. Roll for damage.
That's a 4.
Yeah, I mean, you put a little scorch mark on the side of it, and there's a little bit of a crack. That's when you realize it's like a combination of wood and iron bound kind of craftsmanship on the ship. You get the feeling it might take a while to blast through that hole.
Okay, well, none of my plans are panning out.
That'll finish your turn. Eritrea, you are up with Forn on deck.
All right, so I got 2 guys still right by me.
Yep.
All right, so let's
One
say
there and one there.
the guy on Eritrea's right, I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds at
Okay.
a 2nd level. So that's con 14 for you.
It's not a inflict wounds. Is not a melee strike.
It's a creature you touch makes a Constitution saving throw. Take 2d10 necrotic damage on a failed save.
I think you have to
You still have to roll the hit, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I
think
still
you
have to roll the hit.
it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
15 plus. That's a 21.
21 will definitely hit with an extra D4 of damage. Go for it.
Nice. Extra d4 damage, so 2d10. Where's my d10? 1, 8, 10, so 14 points of damage.
Nice. Definitely rocks and staggers him as you reach out. You grab onto his arm. The necrotic energy crackling up his arm and into his chest as smoke it kind of piles out from underneath his beard and helmet. He's like, "Hey, fuck!"
And then the other guy next to me, I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Nice. And that's hold person
That's
is concentration or duration?
Wisdom 14.
Is it concentration or
Oh,
duration?
it's a concentration. I'm sorry.
Okay. So you will be concentrating on that effect. Put that on you. And that is a wisdom save. Is hold person charm based?
I don't believe so.
I don't think it is
I
either.
don't think
but,
it's a charm, yeah.
no,
No.
it's not. It is no. Somehow I got out of my channel. There we go.
It's a paralyzed effect.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. Wisdom save. That's going to fail. He
Nice.
is currently held in place.
And that's my turn. Those are my 4 points.
Yeah, spell and spell, baby.
Spell and spell.
You get to actually be a caster with 4 APs. I love it.
Yeah.
Nope, they have not done that one yet. So this dwarf is currently being held. This one was rocked by your. What was that first spell you did?
Inflict Wounds.
Inflict wounds. Love that spell. Old school spell.
Yeah.
That's an old school spell. Forn, you are up with Melody on deck. Let's take us down below.
So I'm going to Zephyr Strike is a bonus action, so I'll use this along with my attack, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna fire at the lock on Melody's cage.
Nice. Go for it.
So let me tick off Zephyr Strike real quick. I get advantage on the attack because of Zephyr Strike. That's a 27 to hit, or not 27. I'm sorry, 23. I add 7.
That'll definitely hit with an extra D4 of damage.
Okay, so what's that? Plus Zephyr Strike is a D8, and my D12 for the rifle roll. Make sure I got all those dice right. Sorry. Because. Okay. Yep. Plus an extra D4. Yep. 7, 11, 14, 16. Plus
Nice.
4 is 20.
Dirty 20 on the damage. Melody, you watch as Foreign shoots at the lock on the cage. The lock just shatters. And the moment that the lock shatters, there's a popping noise above you as the orb above you winks out and is
Excellent.
no longer functioning.
Okay.
Awesome.
By casting Zephyr Strike, I can back away from these guys without provoking opportunity attacks.
How far do you get to go?
I get an extra 30 feet to my movement,
5, 10.
but I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to chase the lady and try to run upstairs.
Oh, God, why is
Or
it?
I'm going to go towards her. Actually, I'm not going to chase her. I'm going to run towards her and see if I can get a shot fired off at her.
All right. So you're going to move this way.
Yep. I assume she was already started up the stairs, so I'm just trying to, like, yeah.
You can see her like she's you see her standing at the door is open and she's halfway through the door like she's getting ready to go up those stairs.
Okay. I'm going to pull out the pistol this time,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna. So first, it'll be a straight roll, first shot, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll. Yeah. I'm
Well,
gonna
for each action you get 2 attacks though, right?
Oh yeah. So I guess I get my second shot or for my rifle.
Remember your multi-attack,
Yep,
right?
Yep. So I get my rifle attack. So
Yep.
but
Still get
it's
your
still
rifle
a
shot
straight roll.
first.
So that was a 13 plus 9 is a 22.
And you can technically take that shot at one of the other guards.
Well, I'm trying to stop her from getting out.
Okay, that's
Like
fair.
that. Like I would be intent on like you're
Okay.
not. This is
That
we're gonna-
definitely hits her, and you get an extra D4 of damage.
extra D4. Cool. I'll move my hex onto her.
Okay.
Just because the other guy's dead, and so I'll move that to make the attack with it.
Okay. She is
Alright.
now hexed.
That's 16 plus 4 is 20 total damage.
Nice. Hits her in the back and the shoulder, spins her around slightly, and it staggers her up against the wall.
Okay. So now I'll switch to the pistol and
Okay.
take 2 shots.
And these are
with
at
pistol.
disadvantage.
Yep, I'll use 2. Well, I'm gonna go in and burn. If I can, I
If you
burn
burn 2 AP,
all-
it's regular shots.
Yeah, but can't do 3 AP to get advantage, right?
Well, you've already used 1 AP.
Yeah, I used 1. I had 3 total.
And
right?
and you have you
Or
have
4
3
total,
left.
sorry.
So
Yeah, 3 left,
you
yeah.
could so that you could spend 2 AP to get a regular shot to avoid disadvantage.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then, and I'll
Okay.
take both shots with the pistol.
Okay.
That is what's the modifier there? That was also plus 9. That's a 28 to hit. And-
That'll hit with an extra D4.
The second one is just a 14 to hit, though.
That one will miss as it ricochets off her armor and kind of like clangs up into the ceiling. Go ahead and roll damage for the first one.
Switch to the right die. Sorry. That is 11 plus 4 is 15 damage.
Okay. That definitely staggers her. She's looking very rough.
Okay. Then I will. Oh man. Let's see if I got something there. Let's see. I've got 1 AP left. I will. I'm just going to take the last shot at her with disadvantage, or the last 2 shots with disadvantage.
It's actually going to be double
Triple-
disadvantage
yeah,
because
so
the third
three die,
consecutive
yep.
shot. Yeah.
Yep.
So roll 3d20 and take the lower of the 3.
So that's a misfire on the first shot.
Is that a natural 1?
Yeah, wasn't that one on that one?
Yeah. Rifle or pistol?
Pistol.
Pistol. You hear an empty chambered click. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me, if you would, please.
Yep. 4.
4. Pistol jams and must be repaired.
Okay. And can I throw the pistol at her?
Absolutely. Go
Okay.
for it.
Because at this point it's just like shit. Because I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm actively trying to stop her from running up the
it's fair.
stairs.
It's fair.
Okay. But that's also with triple disadvantage, right?
It is, yeah.
Or double disadvantage.
Double
whatever.
disadvantage. 3d20.
Yep.
Take the lower of the 3.
Nope, it's not. Wow, I rolled a 3, a 4, and a 5.
Straight flush.
Yeah, you know.
You watch as the pistol goes arcing over her and tumbles onto the ground, bouncing around
I'm
her
like,
feet.
shit. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that will finish your turn. Melody, the cage door is open. There are 2 dwarves standing in front of you. You are up, and then we'll be at the top of the second round.
Am I like manacled, and do I have my weapons?
No, you are not manacled.
Do I have my sword?
You have all your gear because they did not have a chance to take your gear away yet. This is
Oh,
they
love it.
got a hold of you at Elith and put you in the cages, and they were getting ready to disembark.
And is Elith like awake and alert?
She is now, but there's nothing she could do because her cage is still locked.
Okay.
And there's still an active anti-magic orb in her cage, just like
Yeah.
all the other cages.
Okay, so I am gonna first take an attack against that guy right in front of me.
Okay.
With my sword. That's a 15.
15 is just barely going to miss as your blade bounces off their chainmail armor.
All right, well, I will take my second attack in that case. Ugh, that's a 5 plus 5, or 6 is an 11.
It's going to bounce off the armor yet again, as you can see the sparks kind of spark off the chainmail armor as you strike.
Okay, let me shoot then a sacred flame at this guy in front of me.
Okay.
He has to make a dex saving throw of 15.
That's going to fail.
Okay, so he's going to take 2d8 of damage. Right, that's a 2, unfortunate, and that's a 7. So 9 points of, I think, radiant damage to him.
9 points of radiant. He was the one that already took a little bit of damage from the explosive effect of Thorin's shot. So he's looking a little rough. Not
Okay,
terribly rough, but he's looking a little rough.
and then I'm gonna, I'll try attacking this guy with the sword 2 more times. This is my 3rd action point, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, so that's not gonna hit. And 8 plus 6 is a 14.
14 is not going to hit either.
Oh my lord.
unfortunately.
Okay. Then for my last action point, can I try like slashing my longsword down on the lock on Elith's cage?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. That's a 12.
12. You bring your sword down and it sparks off of it, which you succeed in hitting it. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. I guess this is just like a longsword strike.
Yep. D8.
A D8. D8 plus 3. That's a 4.
It damages the lock, but does not break it outright.
Can I add a smite on there?
Absolutely.
Okay. How damaged would you say does it look? Well, I guess it's 2d8.
Yeah,
So
I
I'll
mean,
do
yeah, it's
first
2d8
level divine
smite. Yeah,
smite.
if you get
Okay.
you get it, yeah, I would say.
It's a 6. And that's another 10 points of damage.
Yeah, you get the feeling that as you are disappointed in that initial strike, you kind of like just like let the radiant energy kind of course through you, and you watch as it arcs down your arm through the longsword, and it arcs into the lock, and the lock explodes open.
All right. And as I'm slashing with the sword, I'm like, "You ruined the party!"
It's the lock's fault. you know?
Yeah.
I will now
And
put
that's my turn.
Elith in the mix. She is now in an unlocked cage. All right, that'll finish your turn. Let me see where she is on the initiative. She is going to be after Thorn, but before Melody. Top of the round, Professor Jabatros. You are up with the bad guys on deck.
Literally.
Kickback.
Literally on deck.
Yep. From your vantage point, you are up in the rigging, and there's a dwarf climbing the rigging trying to get closer towards you.
Have I what we're assuming, well, at least what I'm assuming is the captain, the bigger dwarf with the giant warhammer. Where is he right now?
What's your passive perception?
Like perception?
Your passive perception. Yeah.
9.
9? You have no idea. You don't see him on the main deck anywhere.
All right. Do I see like a cluster of dwarven troops anywhere? Like more than one? Just
You
guys
just see
packed
the
together.
two. There's one down here trying to put out the fire, which was pretty clever to keep him distracted. There are two, one flanking each side of Eritrea, and the one climbing up the rigging. You do not see any other dwarves on the main deck.
All right. Because I had a thought, but I don't think it's going to work. It's. Thank you. Now I can kind of see.
Yeah, it was a little dark on that side. It's kind of weird.
Little bit. All right. So, no, I don't think it would work, but it'll be interesting. Can I fly down and just dive tackle one of the guys that's attacking Eritrea?
Absolutely. 1 AP to move down. Are you grappling one of them?
I'm trying to like just throw him into either the gunnel or just push him off the rail. So I don't necessarily want to grapple him. I'm making
Well,
more of a,
technically, Eritrea has caused one of them to be held. I would say because this guy's held, you'd have advantage on the attack. And if you succeed, we'll have you make an athletics check to see if it knocks him over the edge of the rail.
Okay, cool. I can do that.
Go for it.
What is that? And I'm sorry, what would my... Is this just an unarmed strike to hit him?
Technically, yes.
Okay, so that's an 18 to hit.
That'll definitely hit. Give me an athletics check as you drive him back towards the rail.
Right.
You have advantage on this because he is held.
So okay, that is a 19.
19. He auto fails his acrobatics because he's held. You slam him, and it is a long way down, my friend.
Nice.
As he is now
Nice.
free falling half a mile down towards the surface of the Oderlin Wilds. What's your move?
right here,
You
sure.
got 1 AP left, Professor.
All right, I want to just go up and see if I can just belt the other guy that Eritrea is fighting just right in the gut with my maul.
Go for it. We'll say you stay close enough to... Well, you have to knock him over the railing. I'll say you have a little bit of movement left that gets you into base with him. So, yeah, go for it.
That is a 19 to hit.
19 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
All right, 2d6. Let me see what this is because it's a little weird. So 2d6 regular damage, and then 1d6 fire. 9 plus. That is 11 damage. I'm sorry. That is because I didn't add that modifier. That is 15 damage.
15 points of bludgeoning damage with your maul.
I think
hammer?
it was 9 bludgeoning and 2 fire.
Gotcha.
And then those 4 just regular kind of is my modifier. So
Well, it's a modifier to your bludgeoning damage. So that's...
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's... All right. Still on his feet, but he's looking a little bit worse for wear. And that will finish Professor's turn. The bad guys are up. This guy now has to spend 2 AP to come down from the rigging. And 1 AP to get into base with Professor. And he's going
would I
to
get an opportunity attack because he just entered that?
No, it's only if he moves by you or leaves you.
Unless you
He's
have
actually
Sentinel.
moving directly into base with you.
Yeah, unless you have Sentinel. Because if you have Sentinel,
yeah.
when they come into your... Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get a Sentinel attack or whatever.
2 attacks coming at you, Professor.
Okay.
That is a 9 and a 6. Both of those will miss. The other dwarf will take 2 attacks on Professor Jabaltros. Jeez, I cannot roll. That's a 7 and an 8. I'm switching dice again.
Oh.
Then going to switch to Eritrea. I rolled double 3s. That's gambler's luck. So that's going to be a crit on Eritrea.
Ouch.
So that is automatically 6 points of damage plus another d6, which is a 1. So 7 plus 4 is 11, so that's going to be plus 3 is 10, so that's going to be 10 points of slashing damage to Eritrea. And then he's going to switch over to Professor Jabaltros again. That is going to be a 22 and a 12. I think the 22 hits.
22 will hit. It is not. It doesn't get anything. It's only 3 on my AP.
Okay. That's 6 points of slashing damage to Jabaltros. And then he's going to use his final AP on Eritrea. That's a 3 and a 2. I am not rolling well tonight. That'll finish those 2 dwarves. This dwarf, he has no choice. He's going to use his whole turn to try to contain the fire, keep it from spreading. So he'll keep throwing water on that. That one is gone. Who's left over here? They're going to see where that came from, and they're going to charge. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25. Another AP to get in base with Karina.
Oh, wait, didn't I move over to the side of the ship?
No, you didn't have enough AP to move.
Oh, no.
It was an AP to change into Air Cochrane, and then it was an AP for an Eldritch Blast. Yeah, so you hadn't moved out of the way yet. Hey, we'll take care of you, you stupid pigeon. They're
Big words from dwarves. Nailed them.
They are each going to use 1 AP to do 2 attacks. 3 are going to miss. 1 is definitely going to hit. That is 6 points of slashing damage. They're going to do that again, but at disadvantage with their final AP. That's 7. That's going to miss. That is a 15 for the second one.
My armor class is 14.
Okay, so that's going to hit. That is going to be 5 points of slashing damage. The other guy's going to do the same thing. That's going to miss.
Oh, no.
And that's going to miss. All right. That'll finish them. Now we're going to go back down below deck.
This is me after better armor.
Right?
Wait, Eritrea goes first, right? Oh, no, the guy's downstairs. Never mind. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And Karina's on deck. Melody, this dwarf is going to attempt to grapple you. So give me athletics or acrobatics.
All right. Let's see. It's a 16 athletics.
That is a 19 athletics.
Come on.
So he grapples you, and he is going to. Oh my God! Why? There's a bug right here. I don't know why it's doing that. He's going to use an AP to move half his movement this way, another AP to move half his movement this way, and with his final AP, he's going to pull out a key and attempt to unlock it and throw you into one of the other cages.
Okay.
One of the other
This
cages
guy-
that have people in them?
Correct.
Okay.
This guy is going to charge at you after seeing you throw your gun. She's going to turn around and charge at you as well, since you got her attention. Forn, you've got 4 attacks coming at you.
Oof.
Every single one of them missed.
Woo-hoo.
I rolled a 4, 5, 6, and a 2. They each have 1 AP left, so they're going to do it again, but they're going to be at disadvantage. That's going to miss. That is going to miss. I thought I had doubles again there for a second. Now the other one. That's going to miss. That one will hit with a 17 plus 4 for 21.
That's just exactly 5 over my AC.
Okay. That is going to be 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
That will finish their turn. There's that one. That'll finish the dwarf's turn. Karina, you are up with Air Trio on deck. I'm gonna find you. Yep, you're down here in the main dock with 2 dwarves in base with you.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast them.
Which one?
The one that is to my side.
This one? Okay, go for it.
That's a 16.
16 is their armor class. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
This is sad. That's a 2.
Oh.
Man.
2 points
Darn.
of damage.
Is there like a
He's
modifier on
staggered.
that?
He's the one that's been taking most of the damage, but he's still kind of on his feet. But he's looking rough.
That said hex damage. Is that the same as Eldritch Blast? Oh yeah, I see it says Eldritch Blast.
You still have 3 AP left.
I'm gonna shoot the other one.
Go for it. She's going full laser beam.
That's the game with a warlock, man.
Yep.
18.
18 will definitely hit. Roll for damage.
6.
6 points of damage. That staggers him a bit.
And
Back
then
to the other guy.
Actually, hopefully this distracts them enough that I can fly away without them getting an attack of opportunity.
Are you flying away now? 'Cause
Yes,
You will
but
definitely get an
immediately...
attack of opportunity if you fly away now.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah, so now I'm gonna switch it up. Now the other guy gets Eldritch Blast, and then that guy gets shot in the face.
Okay, go for it.
Uh, 22.
22 will hit with an extra D4 of damage.
Nice.
Nice.
That's 8 plus 2, so that's a 10.
10. There is a smoking hole where his face used to be, and he collapses.
Nice.
To the ground.
Fantastic.
Suck it! Can she scream suck it? Okay, then the other guy. And that is a 17.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And that's a 6.
6. He is looking a little bit rough, but he hasn't taken much damage yet.
Nice.
He was the one that was wailing on the other guy when he was under the effects of Crown of Madness. That'll finish your turn. Air Trail, you are up with Forn on deck.
I'm assuming, so I want to use Preserve Life from my Channel Divinity, and yeah, it says a magic action. So is that 2 AP then?
Correct, because it's a
Okay.
spell.
So restore 25 HP to bloody creatures, including myself, and divide
Okay.
them up against myself. I'm pretty badly beaten up, so I'm going to give myself 25 HP to get
Okay.
back to full health. And then the guy next to me, let's do inflict wounds at first level. So let's roll. I don't think that's going to do it. 11.
11 does not hit as
Okay.
she uses his shield to kind of bash your hand away from him.
Okay, that's my turn then.
All right, that'll finish your turn. Forn, let's go back down below, because why would you guys fight as a group?
We're fighting as 2 groups.
I know. Back down below, you can see that Melody's been grappled and she's being dragged back down towards the rear end of the cages.
Yep.
You are up with Elith on deck, and you've got a dwarf
Sure.
behind you and a dwarf in front of you.
All right. So the one that I was shooting going up the stairs, I've got my rifle back out.
Yeah.
I picked up the gunner feat, so I don't have a disadvantage on
That's true.
up close attacks.
And she's looking rough. Like, you gave her a solid shot as she was
I'll-
heading up those stairs.
I'll use 2 AP on the first shot to get advantage.
Okay.
So I'll take the shot at her.
Yep. Both shots have advantage.
Oh man, so close to Gambler's Luck. It's a 14 and a 15, but that means it's 24 is the higher.
24 will definitely hit with an extra D4 of damage.
Yep. Plus a D4 plus psychic not psychic. What the heck is that thing called? It's my Dreadful Strikes. That's what it is. 1D4. Yeah. Plus she's also hexed. So
Okay.
that is 16, 20 plus 4 is 24 total damage.
Okay. You watch as she collapses dead to the ground in front of you.
Nice.
Okay. And now I will let's see.
Technically,
Now-
you can pivot and take your second attack on him.
Yep. And it's still
And
with
it has
advantage.
advantage.
So I'll move Hex with that also because
Okay.
like when they go down, the Hex can bounce.
Yep.
So I'll move Hex on the guy beside me, directly beside me.
Okay.
With oh man, so close again. 17, 15 that time. That's 26 to hit.
That'll definitely hit with an extra D4 of damage.
Okay, so that's just those three. That's 11, 16, 18, 22 damage on that
Two.
shot.
Yeah, this guy's looking rough.
Okay.
After that shot. Just like blast like right into his chest plate. The metal peels open.
And
I
I'm
think
going
you have
to
2 AP left.
Yep. So I'm going to use my last first level spell slot for Zephyr Strike again.
Okay.
So that'll give me advantage on the attack, plus a D8 on the attack. So I'll roll. Do you mean like so would I use 2 AP for that also for because 2 AP would have made it a normal strike, right?
Correct.
And then with the Zephyr Strike would give it the extra.
Correct.
Okay, so I'll just make sure that use up my last 2 AP for all that. Yep.
Yep.
So rolling the first shot, that's a 23 to hit.
Nice. So definitely hit with a D4 of damage.
Okay, and that's also got the D8 for the Zephyr Strike on it. So that's 12, 16 plus 6 is 22 plus 4 is 26.
Nice. Put him. He's not here. I just got to remind myself after
Sure.
roll for him. I don't want to forget.
Yeah, that was 26 damage on that guy.
Oh, he is very hurt. Barely on his feet. Barely on his feet.
Okay, I'm gonna use that to get past him now.
Okay.
Because Zephyr Strike, I can move. I get 30 feet of movement. So I'm going to just kind of split the difference between us. I'm not going to go all the way up to that guy, but just kind of in between both of them.
Right there.
And I'm going to fire at the guy, my second shot out of that round, which would be just a straight roll, right? Because Zephyr Strike would only affect the one roll. Yeah. So I'll take the straight roll at that guy that's grabbed Melody.
Okay.
The intent is to try and hit him to make him release her, but or to affect releasing her. Nope, that ain't gonna work. That's a nat 1. Gosh, what a
Brutal.
day. So I gotta roll.
That's gonna hit.
misfire. Yep.
Well, yeah. Check your misfire first.
Yep.
Roll D10.
Sorry, hang on just a second.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So cute.
Sorry about that. All right, misfire. 1 second. Let me get back to my gun. Sorry about that. Kids, you know. Right. Misfire. Misfire. There we go. Let's see. I gotta use an action to try to repair it. DC equals 8 plus misfire score. Attack roll modifier dice equal lower than the misfire score. Weapon misfires. The misfire on this one was a 10. So
Correct.
yeah. So I have to roll 17. I have to roll a 17
Yep.
on the misfire. or else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of all the times to get a nat 20, I'll take a nat 20.
Hey.
Nice.
Woo!
All it does is jam, which allows you to clear the
Yeah.
jam.
So yeah.
Yeah, allows you to clear it, but it costs you an AP to do so.
Well, so that'll be my first AP of the next round because that was all my AP to do that. So
Gotcha. Okay.
because I jammed like that was I used 2 AP to roll that straight roll.
Yep, that is true.
So
All right. So that'll finish your turn. Elith is up. She'll step out. She'll put a hand on your shoulder and heal you for 18 points
oh, that was nice.
for Cure Light Wounds. She'll then shift over to this guy. And she will use Chill Touch, which she gets a double 17.
Ooh.
This guy does
Ooh.
not have enough hit points to survive that. So he drops dead at her feet.
Nice.
He's frozen solid.
And then she will, that was move, and she'll move. Oh my God, there is a bug in the floor right there. That's really funny.
It's like it's catching the gaps of
like
of
there's
the tile.
some shadow gap in there or something that I'm not sure what it is, but I don't feel like tackling it right now. She also has some bardic inspiration she can cast out. She will give you a D6 melody of inspiration.
Oh, fabulous.
And she just says, "Don't let these cocktails go to waste." She inspires you to try to break out of the grapple. That'll finish her turn. Melody, you are up. Then we'll be at the top of the third round.
So this guy, is he not dead? The guy who's grappling me?
No, he is not. He's still.
Guy
on
on
his
you.
feet.
Who did she kill? Was it some other guy?
So
She-
the guy that I had run past.
Oh,
I
God.
didn't
Yeah,
kill him.
nearly killed the guy already, and
Yeah.
he was so rough looking. She went over there and finished him off, and now
Okay.
he's down
So,
here.
I had to use Zephyr Strike to be able to get away, and so I took my first shot on the other guy, and Zephyr Strike allowed me to move so that I wasn't getting blocked to try and shoot the guy at you, and I just screwed up my shot. So
Okay. So how about I try and break out of the grapple?
Go for it.
strength probably.
That's
Athletics.
it's a 7, not a 1. So 7 plus 6 is 13. I'll try it. I'll add the guidance.
Yeah, you should, because that's a 7 plus 6 is a 13 for me. So the guidance will allow you to, or the bard inspiration.
Or the inspiration. So that's plus 3.
Yep, that allows you to break
All
the
right.
grapple.
Thank you, Elith.
You are no longer grappled.
Okay. All
So
right.
that's- well, it's only 1 AP. You got 3 AP left.
All right. Let me try taking 2 swings at this guy.
Go for it.
That's a, let's see. That's a 16 and a 19.
You get 2 attacks, right?
Yes, that's my 2
Yeah.
attacks.
Both will hit.
Okay, awesome. All right, so then it's 1d8 plus 3, and I'll smite this guy at first level.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 5 plus 2. Man, bad rolls, but plus 3 is 10 plus 3. I had to check, like, am I rolling a d8 plus another 3 is 13 plus 3, so that's
Where'd this
16.
D3 come from?
That's 16 points of damage.
Yeah, still on his
Um,
feet, but he's looking a little bit rough.
All right, let me take another. Let me. I guess let me sacred flame him.
Deck save. That's a natural 20 on the deck save.
All right, so he's not going to take that damage, but I'll take 2 more strikes at him.
Regular attacks. Go for it.
All right. Boy, a 5 and a 2. It's just not my day.
Yeah, you play like as he dodges the radiant strike, and then he uses the shield to kind of bash away your sword at the same time.
Okay. All right, that's my turn.
Okay, they'll finish your turn. Top of the third round, Professor Jalbatros, you are up with the bad guys on deck. Take it back up to the surface.
Oh no! Oh god! Why?
And back at the Professor Jalbatros and Eritrea fight that's going on with the two dwarves.
So, I would like to see. I don't know how to phrase this because it's not a grapple per se. I'm not trying to like get a hold of them to stop them from moving. Can I try to like grab both of the dwarves in front of me, grab their belts, or like
By the very
capes?
essence of saying the word grab, you are grappling.
Okay, fair enough. I was trying to do it to both of them at the same point.
I mean, you could shove, you could push, or you could grapple. So, but yeah, once you say you're gonna grab them by the belt, you're essentially grappling.
Okay, that's fine.
And you can only grapple one target at a time.
Okay. Which of the two looks like he's in rougher shape?
I would say the one in base with Eritrea because he's been in the fight the longest. The other one just got into the fight.
Okay. I want to try to grapple that guy.
Okay.
The less
Athletics
bad-looking
or
guy.
acrobatics. That's 1 AP, so we'll start there.
15 plus, I believe it's 11 for both.
Oh yeah, you got him. He's
Athletics
grappled. I got a 3 plus 6 is a 9.
All right. So I would like to just kind of fly up about 30 feet in the air.
Because you're grappling, you get half movement, so you can get 15 feet up in the air.
That's fine. How high above me is the deck with the cannon and whatnot? Is that about 10 or 15 feet? I'm not trying to go all the way over there. But
So you're talking about this cannon over here?
yeah, where the guy's fighting the fire.
Yeah. Let's see. If you were to fly up and over, I mean, you spent
I just
one
wanna get-
AP. You spent all the remaining of your AP would definitely get you over there.
I'm not trying to fly up there. I'm trying to get above it, so basically I can try to throw the guy I'm grappling into the growing fire.
Gotcha. So with you coming over here, you've got him grappled. So, 1 sec. Let me take off the fly effect just because it's easier to move you.
Right.
So you're gonna bring him over here and drop him in the fire. That was this guy. The other dwarf will get an attack of opportunity if you move out of range
Okay.
because you were in base with him. So he's gonna spend an AP, and that's gonna be a 9 plus 4 is a 13. So that's going to miss.
Yep.
So it's 1 AP to grapple, 1 AP to move. You're currently flying over the fire. You let him go. You drop him into the fire.
Mhm.
I'm going to have him make a
And-
dex save. He fails, so he drops prone in the flames, which completely distracts the other guy who's been trying to put out the fire. You still have 1 AP left, and you're currently
Can I get-
hovering just 10 feet in the air.
Okay. Could I make it all the way over to the cannon with my 1 AP?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah.
Okay. Can you just
Well,
kind
let
of
me
put
see
me
where you
behind?
disappeared to.
Yeah.
There you are.
There I am. I flew down.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might have made this one a little too complex.
But I want to get
Nah.
Well, I say
Not
behind
complex.
the cannon, like the actual, like the breach of the cannon.
Like
So,
right there. Yep.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
that's where I did my turn.
Okay. That finishes your turn. The bad guys are up. This means this guy cannot fight the flames because this guy is going to get pulled out. It's going to pull him out of the flames, which means the flames will spread this round. So the flames will spread. Ship needs to make another save. Does save, does not explode yet. Guy's gonna get back on his feet. Ah, wrong one. There he is. Get back on his feet. The two of them are gonna spend an AP to charge over to where you are. They each have 1 AP left. The frightened effect would have worn off. It was only good for the 1 round. And they each get 2 attacks on you.
Mm-hmm.
First one is an 18 and a dirty 20.
The dirty 20 hits.
Okay. Second guy, that is a 15 and a 16.
No, neither one of those. Dirty 20.
Okay. That is going to be 7 points of slashing damage from the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Take us over to Karina. Karina, you've got 2 attacks coming at you. He's going to go all in. He's going to do it with advantage. He's going to spend 2 AP. That is going to be a 23 to hit. And the natural 20 to hit.
No.
So resolve the natural 20 first, because it's automatically a D6. So it's automatically a 6. Plus a 1, so that's 7. Plus 3, so that's 10 points of slashing damage.
Man,
And then the other one is going to be 9 points of slashing damage. He's got 2 AP left.
Even when I hide away, not even close to the fight, I still get my ass kicked. What the hell?
He is going to spend his final 2 AP and take 2 regular attacks on you. That's a 13 and a 10.
Nope, I am a 14.
Yeah, that AC of 1 finally making a difference.
Yes.
I love it. Now finish that dwarf's turn. Back over to Eritrea. Just you and the 1 remaining dwarf. He is going to spend 2 AP to get 2 attacks at advantage on you. First one is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that's my AC.
Okay. The next 2, or the next one is a 16 to hit. So both will hit. 5 plus 6, 11 points of slashing damage. And he will use his last 2 AP to make 2 regular attacks on you. That is a 5 and a 13. So both of those will miss. That will take us back down below.
Split the party. Split the party.
Bastardo. Let's see. He would finally make his appearance. So the leader guy will finally come down here to check on his cargo. It was 2 AP for him to get down here. And he will get into base with... He's going to get in base between Elith and Forn. And he is going to use 2 attacks on Elith. That's going to be a 26 and a 19. He does D8. That is going to be 22 points of slashing damage. She is now unconscious on the ground. He's then going to pivot and take 2 attacks on you, Forn. That is going to be a dirty 20 and a 21.
Both hit.
Okay. Where did my other... I don't like that D8. I'm going to use that one. I have blood splatter dice, which are a lot of fun. That's going to be 8 plus 11. That's 19 points of slashing damage on you, Forn.
Yep.
I'll finish that guy's turn. Melody, guy that you're in base with, is starting to feel the heat. He doesn't think he's going to be able to get you in there, so he is going to take 2 attacks on you with advantage.
Oh, he's damaging the merchandise? Surely not.
He's desperate. That's going to be a natural 20.
Oh, that'll hit.
Ooh.
But the other one will miss. So that's automatically a 6 plus 1, which is 7 plus 3, 10 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And then he'll spend his last 2 AP to take 2 regular attacks, which is going to be a 14 and a 6.
Those will not hit.
Those will not hit. They'll finish the bad guy's turn. Back up above. Karina, you are up with Air Trio on deck.
I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
Go for
Nice.
it. And remember, you're still in your Air Cochrane form.
I guess I just don't want to trigger attack of opportunity.
It's disengage. That kind of
You can spend an AP just to disengage. And then an AP to move. That way you can't get an attack of opportunity on you.
Okay, I might do that.
And where are you heading off to?
I'm gonna head to the side of the boat. Is there like a window?
Not that you can see. It's mostly just a gangway dock that leads onto the main deck.
I'm gonna go to a vantage point above where the professor and our trio are.
Okay. So you fly. I think you get 40 feet of movement, correct? As an Air Cochrane?
I think.
How far can you move, Professor Jabaltros?
Let me look.
You have a fly
I
speed
think
of
mine's fly speed of 50.
Oh,
Ooh.
50, yeah. Then, yeah,
That's
you get
nice.
50 feet.
Although I
Which-
will say, I think my stats are not supposed to be changed by my form changes.
So you can't fly? Or you just fly 30 feet?
I think I just fly 30 feet. I think
Gotcha,
things
that
with
makes-
strength and
yeah,
stuff
that
are
makes
not
more sense.
affected.
5, 10,
Because then I just be an
15,
orc all the
20,
time and
25.
kick everyone's ass.
Yeah. So, yeah, 30 feet gets you right there. You have 2 AP left.
I'm gonna cast on myself False Life.
Okay.
And
That's a
get-
spell or a cantrip?
It's a cantrip,
Okay.
and that means that I get 7 points healing.
Okay.
How close am I to the fire?
You are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet away.
25 feet. Okay, so Control Flame works within 60 feet.
It does.
I'm gonna just make the fire worse and try and chase down the dwarves with a fire.
Okay, so control flame. Let me look
Is
at that
yeah,
one
you,
again.
you
I got it.
expand the flame 5 feet in the one direction, provided there's wood or fuel. And
Oh, there's plenty of fuel.
yay. And you can also double or halve the area of bright light and dim light cast by the flame.
I'll say you cause the flame to like suddenly boil over and start running towards the 2 dwarves there. Do they get a save or do you do damage?
It's tricky because this is like a transmutation cantrip,
Right.
so it's not necessarily something you're supposed to use as an attack so much.
Gotcha. So, but because you did cause the flame to get bigger, there's 2 things that are going to happen. Each of them will take 1d4 fire damage. So you can go ahead and roll that for me since you caused the flame to roil in their direction.
That's a 4.
4 points of damage to them as the fire rolls in their direction. The ship has to make a save. It's got to make a constitution save to determine if the powder kegs go off.
Uh-oh.
That, my friends, is a natural 1.
No!
Yay!
Come
That
on.
is a calamitous failure. Air Trio,
Oh no.
Air Trio, the Professor Javatross,
That's what it
and
sounds like.
Karina.
That's
Eric
exactly what it
Trump
sounds like.
I need the three of you to make dex saves, if you would, please.
Give me 1 second. Charlie just knocked like all of my dice off the desk.
I heard. It was
Goodness,
both
you can all
satisfying and cringy at the same time.
It's exactly
15.
what.
Okay.
Dex save, right?
Yes.
Ooh,
Hey, if
that's
you're
a
within
12.
30 feet, of Eritrea,
Dex plus-
you get that guidance, right?
Yes.
That is. What's that?
No, I think
That is
guidance
a
the ability
17.
checks.
And saving
All
throw,
right.
Saving throws.
right?
I mean,
No,
it's
that's
a-
bless.
Ah,
You're
yeah.
thinking of bless. No, guidance is just ability checks.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That was a 17 if you didn't hear it.
Okay, so Professor Javatross and Eritrea, you'll take half damage and not be knocked prone because of the explosion. When the explosion goes off, where's the? There it is.
This is so on brand.
Right?
So
Just like
we
when
have
you
to
guys
come up
blew
with a
up
group
that
name.
section of the city.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We're getting.
I wasn't here for
reputation.
that. That was before the professor's time. He knows nothing about that.
You're still a part of the group.
We'll say
me,
there's a
Eric was
massive
part of the
explosion near the front of the ship.
group. Okay.
Goes outwards. I got to roll dex saves for the three dwarves. Two of them will fail. So these two will be knocked prone. And both look very rough from the damage of the explosion. This one succeeds. He only takes half damage, but looks pretty rough from the explosion. Eritrea take half of 20 points of fire damage. So you'll take 10 points of fire damage. Javatross take half of 20 points of fire damage. And Karina take 20 points of fire damage from the fire exploding outward, and you are knocked prone.
Does it change anything if I'm nowhere near the fire and I'm not on the ship?
No, because everybody within a 90-foot radius had to make a dex save. Ooh, that means
Okay, then I'm dead.
This dwarf has
It's
to
been
make
really
dex
all.
Yeah, you're just down. You're just
Karina
down. I'm
down.
not dead.
You're just down. I'll take care of you next turn. Maybe.
Yeah, I
Well,
can- I can-
thank you.
I
I
can
didn't
get her
even step
next
on the
turn.
ship. How am I dead?
Those
United
down below
Splinters.
in the hold,
Splinter work.
you just felt the entire ship shudder. Like make a creaking sound, and dust is falling from the floorboards, both above and like all the metal rigging and everything as well. That'll finish Karina's turn. Eritrea, you are up with Forn on deck.
All right. So I'm still linked.
But
up
he's looking
with
pretty rough.
him. I'm hoping. Is this going to be enough?
Can you see her?
Yeah. I should be able to see Karina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to.
Yeah, you can see her clothes are smoldering. Her hair's a little
she-
smoldered. There's
is she
wafts
within
of
6
smoke coming off of her roasted body.
Is she within 60 feet of me?
Yeah, she's definitely within 60 feet of you.
Healing word, 2nd level.
Okay, go for it.
So that's 64 plus 7. Come on, it's 2, 4.
Sorry, warlocks are always so squishy, Karina.
Oh,
Every now and then they get off that one. Like I was really rooting for that warp bolt because that thing does a lot of damage when you use it. It's just unfortunately it's a ranged spell attack.
Man, I rolled 6, 8. That's 21 points to get Karina back up. I rolled
Ooh.
really well on those
Nice.
D4s. I didn't roll a single one
Karina,
on
you
those
got
D4s.
21 hit points back as your eyes flutter open. You're prone on the ground. You cough a puff of smoke, as you are now conscious again.
Thank
You have
you.
2 AP
thank
left,
you.
Eritrio.
I will. I'm gonna disengage and then run the hell off the ship because I don't think it's.
Yeah, it's like the whole front of it's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
so
run
as
like
you
towards where
disengage,
or
yeah, you run over to the gangway. What's your full movement?
30.
You get halfway to Karina at the edge of the gangway.
Okay.
And that'll
That's my
finish your
turn.
turn. Professor Jalbatros, you just saw Eritrio. Oh wait, he's not up. Forn's up. Sorry. I was like, so Professor Jalbatros, you're up. No.
Just skip 4 turns. It's fine.
Shut up. All right, Forn, you are up with Elith's death save on deck.
Oh boy.
You're currently at
So,
base.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm gonna
God, happened
fix
again.
my gun real quick for my first AP,
Okay.
and then as a free action with that, can I just call out "ship's gonna blow, get the hell off"?
Sure.
All right, and then there are 6 more cages that are not open, right?
Correct.
Okay. So first AP, I fixed the gun. Second AP, I'm gonna try. Second AP, I'm gonna try and fire at two of the cage locks.
Okay, go for it.
Yep.
I thought for sure good old fashioned Forn would just run off the ship once Melody was safe.
Not with all the Fae on there. That's 22 and a 19.
Both will hit. Roll for damage.
Okay, so I'm shooting at 2 different locks, right?
Yep.
Okay. D12 damage. One of those gets a D4. So the first one is 10 points of damage. The second one is only 3 points of damage.
Second one does not shatter, but the first one does. As the lock shatters, you watch as the fawn pushes the door open, and as a reaction begins to run towards the front of the ship, the stairwell that will take her up towards the front.
Okay, and I'll use my last 2 AP to fire again at that one cage, and then at another cage that's not open yet.
Okay.
With just straight rolls again. So burn 2 AP to do that.
Okay.
Boy, one's a 15, one's 16, so that's 24 and a 25. So.
Yeah, both will hit. Roll for damage with extra D4.
All right. Oh, that's a D6. Wrong die.
Yeah, it's the dice that looks like they're trying to kill your foot.
Right. That looks like. Oh man.
And when you have a metal D4, it really looks like a weapon.
Uh-huh. So that's 15 with 1 and 13. Oh, plus 4 on those.
Yeah,
I forgot to add my other 4 on the other.
They only have 10 hit points, so both.
Okay. Well, I didn't add my 4 on the other one, so that would have been 7 on that one, but it still wouldn't have busted though. So
no,
never mind. Okay. Yep.
So with that, you watch as 2 more locks. So at this point, Elith's cage is gone. This cage is gone where the fawn was in. A centaur and a group of Fey fairies make it out. You look, and there's only 2 remaining cages, one with a centaur, and one with another like pixie-like, with the human, with the strangely normal-looking human in it.
Yep.
I'll finish your turn.
Yep, that's all I got.
All right. Elith is going to make a death save. That is 1 success. That'll finish her turn. Melody, you are up, and then we'll be at the top of the 4th round with Professor Jalbatros on deck.
Okay. Let me for my first action try and attack the guy in front of me twice.
Go for it. I love how your blade is even rainbow colored. That's so
cute. Yeah. One of those is not going to hit, but the other one's a 19.
19 will definitely hit. Roll for damage.
Okay, and I'm gonna put a divine smite at 2nd level into that since
Hell
it's
yeah,
not every
baby.
day. It's not every day that I
Paladins, finish
hit.
it off. Dump
Yeah.
that. Dump that damage.
All right. Okay. So that's a 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Whoop. Plus 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15 points of damage.
Nice. As you plunge the blade right into his chest, and the divinity energy kind of arcs from your blade and up into their chest. He just kind of rattles like he's holding on to 40,000 volts and collapses dead.
All right. And then I'm gonna throw a healing word at Elith.
Okay. That's with your final 2 AP?
Well, so that was 1 AP because I have 2 attacks.
That's right. That is. You have 3 AP left.
So I have 3 AP. So, yeah. Let me throw a healing word at Elith. That's 2d4 plus 4. So that's this I rolled, but on 4 plus 3 plus another 4 is 11 points of healing to her.
Nice. Her eyes flutter open, and she has 11 hit points now.
And then for my last action, I'll try and slash at the locks on these 2 remaining cages.
Okay, yeah, one attack for each cage. Go for it.
All right. I'm gonna stop rolling this dice. Well, one is a 24, the other one's a 10.
Both will hit. The 24 gets a D4. The other one's just regular damage.
Okay. So, okay. This is the first one. That's a 4 plus another D4. Will be... So it's 8 points of damage to the first one, and to the second one, it's 6 points of damage.
Nice. The second lock, the one with the female human in it, is still holding fast.
Sorry, it's I have an additional +3 on the longsword, so it's 11 to one and 9 to the other.
Okay, the one that takes 9 is still not fully destroyed, but heavily damaged to the point where it's barely holding the lock. But the Centaur is able to get out of the lock that you destroy, leaving just the one cage with the human in it.
Okay.
All right, that will finish your turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take us to the top of the 5th round. Professor Jalbatross. I can't remember the last time a battle was this long.
Yeah.
With you guys, but at lower level they tend to do that. Professor Jalbatross, you are up. You can see that Aerotreo has decided to disengage from the dwarf and make it onto the dock, heading towards Karina. The fire has now spread out of control. The explosion, you can see that the wood beams are beginning to crackle from the flame. There's a slight kind of fracture in the decking as it's warping from the heat of the flame. And you can also see that not all of the cartridges have detonated yet. There's still more cartridges that could potentially detonate. Both dwarves are still alive, but they're prone on the ground.
All right. So, from the explosion, can I see into the lower decks from there?
Yes, you can. But what's your passive perception? A 9?
We're way down.
Passive is like a 9.
Yeah. I mean, you could see down into what seems like a storage deck. Oh shit. Okay, so you look down. So the powder and shot that's up here is for the cannon up front, but now you're looking into the main magazine of the ship. So as the flanking has crackled away, you can see like maybe 5 or 6 large barrels of gunpowder with the explosion moniker on the side of the barrel. You could see more triangular stacks of shot. And from your position, you're beginning to realize that maybe the magazine and storage of a lot of the cannon shot and explosives that's up in this frontal magazine that you're currently standing on top of.
Okay. Thorn, when you were telling us, do I have a good idea of where Thorn is in the
You have
Thorn
no idea where he is,
Well,
unfortunately.
I did say I was in like a sub deck, like in
Correct.
a false bottom deck.
Yeah, so you get the feeling he's deep in the hull somewhere.
Okay, so what I want to do then is, can I assume the two guys that are knocked prone, they're out of the fight. They're not dead, but they're not going to be doing anything to me.
Well, they're just prone because the explosion knocked them prone.
Okay, so what I want to do is the cannon I was standing on, I want to kick it or move it so the barrel is facing the flames. I don't think it'd be able to angle it down sufficiently to aim itself at the magazine, but
you can give me a strength check to see if you can budge the cannon.
okay, what is strength +4? Okay. Probably not. That's only a 6.
A 6. Yeah, you go to budget, and that's when you realize that it's attached to a rope and a cranking system. The rope is currently on fire, and the crank is like all warped from the explosion. This is a very heavy cannon.
Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna hop over the port side, like away from the dock. That's start.
Okay.
Someone didn't read his Patrick O'Brien, but
Listen, buddy.
down towards
I'm stuck with a seagull that keeps trying to commit arson.
Keeps. I've only done it once, so I'm going to try to get under is a bad word, but like towards the bottom of the the where the keel would be, because I know Ford has told me
and you can move 50 feet, right?
Yeah, 50 feet.
All right.
And then
so
just
I'll say
towards...
you're able to fly towards the bottom. The problem is this is more of a traditional airship. It is not designed for water. So it doesn't have like the traditional components on the rear end of the ship. You get the feeling that the system that's keeping it aloft, the brimstone system, is this box up here that has additional kind of exhausting for the magic, like the magic energy to exhaust outward. That's what's the main kind of driver of the airship. I will say that as you get towards the bottom down here, spending your second AP to move all the way to the 50 feet max, you find the porthole that Ford must have used, because as you look through, you can see strange fey creatures running towards different exits. You can see Melody is standing over a couple dead bodies. You could see Forn is standing alongside a dwarf. You could see them inside. You've got 2 AP left, but it's a small porthole.
Okay. I just want to just start wailing on that porthole to just try to make it as large an opening as possible for everyone to get out. And if she's still there, I'm going to call Bright Quill over to start help ferrying the escapees out.
Okay. With your third AP, give me 2 attack rolls as you bring your maul down into the paneling and area where the porthole is.
It is dirty 20 and a 17.
Both will hit. Roll for damage if you would, please.
Okay. 6. Oh, okay. First one is a 12, 6 fire damage, 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Second one.
Oh, and then +4. So that would be, that's also bludgeoning.
Okay.
So next is, damn. Okay. Next is 16 bludgeoning, and I rolled really well on that. 5 fire damage.
Nice.
Nice.
There's a lot of
I rolled
damage.
really well on that shit.
The porthole actually gives way about a foot-by-foot section of the wood and kind of punches in. Go ahead and use your final AP to do the 2 final attacks.
All right. I think that was a 22 and a 19.
Both will hit. Roll for damage.
Okay. 8. So that's 12 bludgeoning, 4 fire, and 11 bludgeoning, 6 fire.
Yeah, you create just enough for the final bit of porthole to collapse in. The wood around it kind of collapses in as well. There's barely like a 2 foot by 2 foot jagged section where the porthole used to be. And already you watch as a group of pixies fly out of the porthole. You watch as Brightwing comes down and a fawn and a centaur leap onto the back of Brightquill as he ferries them away, leaving only a couple more Fae inside the hold. That'll finish your turn. The bad guys are up.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No, they have to stand up first. They're not up yet.
Yeah.
That's 1 AP.
Get up. They're going to see the fire and say, fuck it, let's get out of here. They are going to leap down onto the gangway. They're going to spend an AP to disengage. These two begin to run into the Airy Spire. He's going to run. These 3 are booking it. They are heading off into the chambers of the Airy Spire. This one's going to yell out coward, but then see the fire. He is going to
Not an observer.
but he just can't let Air Trio go. Something about pretty boys this dwarf doesn't like. So he's gonna leap off the ship, get into base with Air Trio, take his 2 attacks. That is going to be a 7 and a 16.
1 hits.
That is going to be 8 points of piercing or slashing damage. Go spend his 3rd AP to disengage. Karina, he's running by you. He thinks you're dead. You can take an opportunity of attack if you'd like.
Oh, hell yeah.
Go for it. It's a weapon attack unless you have a feat or a feature or ability that lets you use a spell.
I'm gonna shoot him. That's a 15.
That's barely gonna miss as it arcs over his shoulder, and he continues running in the direction that the others went.
Can I also scream coward?
Back down below. So, Foreign, from your position where you are, you just watched as a porthole opening was broken up over here. Those that were fleeing are now heading towards that direction. The only person still left in a cage is the humanoid. Melody, or the human. Melody's there. Edith looks to be alive. And now the dwarf leader has to make some decisions. Oh, he's really angry because his ship's on fire. His cargo's escaped. And Dwarvish, he bellows out as he goes into a rage.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
He says something in Dwarvish, and he brings 2 attacks down on Elith first.
On Elith?
Well, she's prone. He gets advantage. That's going to be a 28 and a 19. That is going to be 26 points of slashing damage. So she goes unconscious again. He is then going to follow up with 2 regular attacks on her. And she now has 2 failed death saves. He's then going to pivot back towards Forn. And in his rage, he's going to take 2 attacks on you, Forn.
Yep.
That's going to be a 16 and a 12.
16 hits.
Okay. That is going to be 8 plus 5 is 13 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
And he's going to do that. Let's see. 2 attacks. He did. Got 1 AP left. He's going to do that again, but he's going to be reckless. That way he has advantage on the first strike.
Which would mean with straight roll, right? Because he's attacking me again.
There you go.
Yes, that'll be a straight roll.
Yep.
So that is a 13 plus 6 is a 19.
Yep, it hits.
That is going to be 7 points of slashing damage. And with his final attack on you, that's going to be a disadvantage because you only get, with Reckless, you only get advantage on the first attack, not the second one. So this one's with disadvantage. That's going to be 11 plus 6 is a 17.
It hits.
And that is going to be 11 points
Yep.
of slashing damage.
Man down.
Born is now knocked down and unconscious. That finishes the dwarf's turn. Karina, back up above. You are up with Eritrea on deck. And you can see that the dwarves that were on the main deck are now booking it into the Airy Spire streets. You're prone on the ground, kind of last bit of the fire, kind of winking out on your clothes. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna stand up.
Okay, that's only half movement. You still have half your movement left.
As a free action, I'm gonna say thank you to Eritrea. Thank you for thank
Thanks,
you.
baby doll. I owe you.
It's
I promise I won't let evil poop on your shoulder.
I make no such promise. And then I'm gonna try and fly to the side where there were like the windows of the windows above deck,
Yep.
where it looks like maybe it's like a captain's quarter where I might be able to just like steal a bunch of documents before everything burns down.
All right. So you're going to use your second AP to fly 30 feet here, and then go into the captain's quarter for your third AP.
Yes.
Okay. And for your final AP, give me investigation. See if you can find anything.
Who did it? Hey, yeah.
Oh, that's rough. That's any chance I have advantage?
No.
Well, I tried.
Nice try. Nice
It was a
try.
4 plus 6. It was a 10.
Hey,
It was a 10? I mean, the tabletop is filled with like maps and journal pages. You could just spend your entire next turn gathering everything you see on the table if you'd like.
Okay, I have my little wrist pocket thingy, so I'll just shove everything I can into it.
Okay, so you're in the middle of doing that. That'll finish your turn. Eritrea, you just watched as Karina went back into the captain's deck. No sign of Jabaltros or Forn or anyone else yet. It's just you on the main gangway while the dwarves are now fleeing into the Airy Spire.
All right.
Run away! Run away!
Yeah, that's what I've done. I don't know how much I can help, but I want to. I'm pretty beat up. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay, go for it.
So 2d8 plus 6. 1, 3. So that's 10.
Yeah, those heal rolls suck. I hate it when that happens. Just when you need it most.
Hey,
All right.
So, before I forget about it, can I ask a quick question?
What's up?
Hey, just one of the items I got last time, the Feather of Altruism. Did we ever establish a range on that? Because I was going to try something. It's the one that heals me. It's the one that heals somebody for 1d8.
It's either self or anybody within 30 feet of you.
Okay, cool.
So it's kind of
All right.
similar to half the effectiveness of healing word.
I'm gonna do Cure Wounds. I'm gonna do Cure Wounds again on myself.
Okay.
4, 7, nice. So 11 plus 6 would be 17.
Nice. So you spend your turn getting yourself healed up.
Yep.
That will bring us to Thorn. Thorn, give me a death save if you would, please.
That's a fail. That's a 3.
All right, that's one failed death save.
Yep.
So,
Elith needs to make her final death
hey,
save.
before she does that, I want to use
Natural 20.
Oh,
Yay!
Is stable and unconscious. No longer
Elith.
having death saves.
Whew.
Cool, because I was gonna see if I'm within 30 feet because I'm at the porthole and be like, nope, she gets 8 HP.
That's
Okay,
happened during your turn, however, Professor Jabaltros.
I thought that was one of those things that we could do as a saved action, and then I just would only get 3 AP.
No, it just has to happen during your turn.
Yeah, it has to be a reaction.
Okay, I gotcha.
Right.
I understand.
All right. So Elith is not dying anymore. Melody, you're up. It's just you and the big bad facing
All
each
right.
other. This is the guy that kind of scoffed at you when you were inside the cage. You're watching as the last of the creatures are filtering out, being rescued by Bright Quill. You feel another explosion rack the ship as the whole ship kind of trembles underneath your feet.
Okay. I'm gonna attack this guy twice.
Okay. See that? Right? There's a
Oh god.
That's weird.
there's something in that spot. I'm gonna put you right there for now.
I think it's probably for whatever reason, like the gaps between the wood boards are causing it. Like they're treating it like it's not a full square.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because like every time you go across those gaps, it does that.
Yeah, it is weird. But it's only that one spot. So that's weird. Doesn't do it with the other spots.
With
What'd
the
you get, Mel?
explosion,
I don't think it would hit. It was a 14 was the higher roll.
Yeah, 14 bounces off his armor.
There's like literally nothing I can do if I can't roll above an 8. I'll throw. Well, I'm like right next to Foreign, right?
Yes. You're right
So-
between Florin, Elith, and the captain.
Can I put my hands down on either side and do a lay on hands on both of them? Which is a feature, class feature.
Right. Does it say if it's an action, though? I think it is an action.
Let's see.
yeah, it's an action.
So
hand hands,
it would
is-
be one
It's
AP for your...
It's a bonus action.
Oh, yeah, I'll say, you put your hands down on both of them. And since you target both of them at the same time, we'll call it a single action.
Okay.
But you can do lay on hands and split the difference between the both of them. I think that makes
Okay.
sense.
I'm gonna give honestly, because I'd really like someone to survive the next round, I'm gonna give 20 to Foreign and 5 to Elith.
Okay. Foreign, you are now conscious again as you feel Melody's pink, yellow, purple,
Ooh.
kind of highlighted rainbow energy kind of cycling through you.
Okay. And then I'll now try and take 2 more attacks on this guy.
Yep, go for it.
8. One of those is a 16 plus 6 is a 22.
I'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. I'm gonna do my Divine Smite at 2nd level. Okay. 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 is let's see, 14 plus 3 is 17 points of damage to this guy.
Nice. That definitely staggers him. He's still on his feet, but he really
Okay.
grunts under the heavy weight of the strike. And he just kind of like he's in that like blood spattering rage where his tattoos are just blazing and his eyes are almost like a dull red as he's deep in his rage.
Okay, and then for my last action, let me just try and Sacred Flame him. That's a dex save of 15.
Okay. He gets advantage. That's still not gonna. I think that's a 13.
Oh, okay, that would fail.
Nice.
That's exciting. Okay, so that's 2d8. Oh, that's a 7. And that's another 7. 14 points of damage.
14
Nice.
points of radiant damage. That's
Incredible.
that staggers him back as well, but he's so lost in the rage, he's just focused on you at this point.
Okay, all right, that's my turn.
All right, top of the 6th round. Professor Jabatros, you are up. You are over here at the blasted section of the area that you pummeled open. Brightquill is handling the evacuation. There might be enough room for you to squeeze through.
Okay. I want to hand Brightquill something. I have no thoughts. The chances of this working are basically zero, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hand her a flask of holy water. Be like, here, try throwing this on the flames. See if we can buy more time. The
You
idea
hand
is
her a
like,
little tiny flask.
no, I
of
hand her
holy
like
water.
a whole. I hand her what is it? I think I have. What's the,
Maybe like a barrel, but right now there's a raging inferno up by the front of the ship.
well, the idea is it's not the level of water; it's the fact that it's blessed by a god. That was my thinking.
I mean, sure. If it was an undead fire.
I mean,
It's still blessed by a god.
technically, Wood is dead.
Technically, Wood is dead. I'm just saying.
Somewhere
yeah,
the eagle god is in his
rules
chair
order.
and he looks and sees Brightquill drop this little tiny flask of water on the fire. So that's what he used it for. Shit.
I mean, I'm a paladin. I can bless my own water. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it was worth a shot. It was the chances.
Well,
of that working
Brightquill
were
is
big.
still in the midst of like evacuating the last of the Fae. The only remaining prisoner is the human female in this cage back here.
Okay, but I want to squeeze into the lower hold there.
Okay, give me acrobatics or athletics as you push your way through.
What is that? God, I love these rainbow dice, but it is really hard to read. I believe that's a dirty 20. Give me a sec.
Yep, that'll
Yeah,
definitely
dirty
get
20.
you. That'll get you inside.
Hi, Houdini. God, that little shit.
You are now inside the ship. You've got 3 AP left.
Okay,
I love that the falling dwarf is outside the ship too.
nice.
Way
Right.
outside,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I know, like right there.
Yeah.
He's long gone. He's long.
Oh yeah,
gone.
he's gone.
He is
So,
a
I
grease
wanna-
stain down in the rocks.
He's still screaming all the way down.
Yeah.
This
why
whole
did I
fight's
take this
going
job?
on. The whole fight's going on.
Ah!
He's still falling, and we're still fighting, and he's still falling.
All right, I'd like to move into base with the captain and attack him. And would I possibly get an advantage on that? Because I can't imagine he realizes I'm there. I came up behind him through a wall.
Well, no,
He's
you're
from behind him though.
you're flanking him, so you have
Yeah.
advantage due to flanking.
Okay, but yeah, I just want to just
Because
start
Melody is
wailing on
here and you're here, so yeah, you get advantage on these 2 strikes.
him. Okay, I am probably gonna go ahead and use a divine smite on that.
Definitely get that pally
yeah.
shit out in the open.
Oh yeah, so we use that for an extra extra 10 damage if I hit. All right. First one was a not good. Second one is a 23. Where's my to hit? Let me look. Okay, got it. Too many windows open. 7 to hit, so 26 to hit.
26 to hit with an extra D4 of damage. What level smite are you using?
I think I only have the one. Do I? I might as well use second level if I. No, I don't have it at second level. It's only first level. Yeah, I've only got
Are
first
you-
level. So it's
Are
2D.
you all? Do you have anything besides paladin?
I'm only paladin.
Yeah, because I'm 5th level paladin and I have 2 second level spell slots.
I do too, but mine is like Moonbeam, and I don't remember what the other one
You
is.
just-
It's
burn
Cure
the-
Wounds.
The
Okay,
smite,
burned
the
the
smite
spell
does
slot.
level.
Yeah.
I see it is actually second level, so I apologize. It's 3d8 radiant damage. So I
There you
rolled
go. Yeah.
2d8s.
Roll a D4 plus your weapon damage and plus 3D8 smite damage.
Okay, so d4 is.
I forgot we had
3.
2 paladins this time around.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Well,
DPS. That's a
plus
lot. of
Just-
damage.
Just wait till 6th level when we've both got our auras. Then we're not failing saving throws again.
God.
Yay.
Luckily, they don't stack.
Yeah.
Just depends on who's got what aura, right? You
Uh-huh.
know?
Yep.
All right, sorry. I'm so sorry. The D4 was a 3, and I really fucked up on the. I think I accidentally grabbed the D10 because I saw a 0 in there, and it really fucked me up. 8 and a 1, so that is 9. Ooh, okay. That is 16 radiant damage, and now my hammer, which
Correct.
ball, whatever, you know where it is.
Yep.
D6. All right, that is 10 bludgeoning and 6 fire.
Nice. This guy is looking a little bit rough. The maul coming down, slamming into him. This guy's finally realizing that Forn is stirring awake. Elith
shit.
is starting to get up, and now he's got another paladin to contend with.
And I keep forgetting about this because I have 2 attacks per turn, so that's 1 strike.
Yep, that's 1 attack. Make your second attack.
All right. Second attack is, I think it's going to fail. It is a 19? I can never remember these. Yeah, 19. 19 to hit.
19 will hit. Actually, 19 will just barely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so I'm going to dig out another D8 just so I don't have to do math. Same with the D6s. Ack, come here, you little shit. And for me, the Divine Smite, is that for the turn or is that 1 attack?
That's for your attack.
Okay, so it's just the 1, so I'm not rolling that again.
Yeah, it consumes the spell slot, and it does the Divine Smite. If you have another spell slot, you can do another Divine Smite.
Well, but wouldn't that burn everything? Because I had 3 going in, and it's 1 attack, and then the spell.
No,
Divine Smite is not it doesn't
it's not a
take
spell.
an
It's an
action.
ability of a paladin,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it doesn't consume
Stacks on the
spell
attack.
AP.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough. We might as well do it then. So
That's fine.
let's see.
That's what they're there for, baby. See, paladins are all upfront damage once you're in base with the big bad. You just pour it all out as fast as you can.
All right, that is 19 radiant damage.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. I shouldn't have done that. 15 bludgeoning and 4 fire.
Yeah, see, for fire and radiant damage, he doesn't get to have that because of his rage. So that stacks up quickly. You guys watch as Professor Jalbatros brings down that final maul blow into the shoulder and head of the dwarf captain, just crushing him inward, and he just falls dead to the ground.
Yes.
Was this the guy with the really cool who had the hammer that you mentioned?
With all the fate charms on it.
Okay. I would definitely like to pick that up and then move to the caged human and break that human out.
Okay, let's get ourselves back into non-initiative mode.
Where'd you go? Thank you.
And with that, the vessel is racked. You guys watch as Professor Jalbatros swoops and picks up the hammer that the dwarf had. Karina manages to empty out the captain's cabin of all the paper that she could possibly find off that table.
Can I also do detect magic to see if anything pings?
Spell or ritual?
Which one are you?
A ritual would take 10 minutes, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it'll take me 10
Better-
minutes.
Yeah, the ship
with
is
that fire
in gulf.
blowing?
It is, yeah.
you gonna risk that 10 minutes for the fire? You don't have spell slot?
Yes.
You don't have spell slot?
Well, I don't have any spell slots, and I also... I do not want the lore to go in flames.
It's gonna blow up with you on it. If you wait, the ship is on fire with gunpowder everywhere.
How imminent does the whole gunpowder ship exploding situation feel?
It feels like at any moment because you're watching. I mean, everybody now is evacuating down below. You see Forn, Elith, and Melody come out from down below. They see the fire raging up on the front of the ship, and they are now racing towards the gangway. Eritrea is already over there. Professor Jalbatros took the hammer from the captain, but is helping evacuate the last human female. By the way, Karina, you see Professor Jalbatros and Brightquill come over to the gangway, and you recognize the female that they've rescued from down below.
Oh, damn.
It's the maid. Yeah.
No way.
Oh, okay, that's more.
You sure you want to spend 10 minutes on that initial test?
I do just a final investigation check to see if something feels weirdly suspiciously.
Give me a final perception check because you're glancing. I think would be more appropriate.
It's a 19.
You see a large iron box that looks too juicy to leave behind, and you grab it with both hands. You guys watch as Karina comes, waddling out and then flies over the rest of the way. As all of you kind of break away from the edge of the gangway and disperse into the Airy Spire, the concussion rattles like everything around you as the massive ship just blows up in this huge fiery explosion. You then watch as cascading flames kind of arc away from it and start landing on other ships, on other buildings within the Airy Spire, as a full-blown, out-of-control fire is now raging on the edge of the docks of the Airy Spire. And that's where we're going to finish tonight. As usual,
Hooray.
leaving shit on fire. I feel like your guys'
Exploding
group
and
name,
on fire.
I feel like your guys' group name should be some kind of arsonist name or something.
Yeah.
I think it should be the bombshells.
Nice.
Pretty good.
I love it. That was awesome. All right, you guys linger. All right, everyone, thanks for coming out. We should be back next Sunday. Be safe, be kind. Don't forget to play a game. You guys linger. We'll talk about the schedule. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Boy.
One of these days, I will have a fast button for that where it just automatically does it. I don't have to remember.